Our boy, Zhang Yi, transmigrated into a cultivation world, becoming the only male disciple in the entire Taoist sect. While he looks like a top-tier heartthrob, he laments that everyone ignores his actual artistic talents and skills. The junior sisters are absolutely obsessed, constantly swarming him, just to catch a glimpse of his handsome face. He finds the constant interruptions exhausting, wishing he could just focus on his cultivation without being bothered. His dream is to eventually get strong enough to leave this place, and finally explore the world outside. He just wanted a quiet life of slow improvement, but fate had a much trash-tier plan in store. Suddenly, a system activates, demanding he confess to his master or face a life as a castrated dog. His target is Yue Yao, the merciless fairy, a woman so cold she is basically a walking death sentence. Every man who ever tried to woo her ended up crippled or kicked out, leaving a mountain of regrets. Now Zhang Yi is completely dumbfounded, realizing he has to choose between a swift death and losing his manhood. Zhang Yi is snapped out of his panic when a cold voice asks what's weighing on his mind. The presence before him is suffocating, radiating the kind of beauty that usually leads to a quick death. Every detail of her appearance screams power, reminding him exactly why she is called the merciless fairy. Yue Yao stands there, like a goddess, the very person our boy is supposed to confess to right now. He nervously greets his master, trying his best to keep his composure while his heart does backflips. Internally, Zhang Yi is absolutely losing it, terrified by her overwhelming beauty and the system's trash-tier ultimatum. She demands an update on his progress, even asking if any female disciples have managed to distract him. He claims he's only focused on the Tao, though he's secretly cursing his luck for being too scared. Yue Yao approves, noting she's already purged hundreds of weak-willed disciples who let their hearts wander. Realizing it's now or never, Zhang Yi argues that cultivation is meaningless if you can't even speak your truth. Yue Yao stares him down with those cold, golden eyes, waiting for him to dig his own grave. Our boy asks how she can preach about heartless cultivation when she's never even felt a spark of love. He grits his teeth, realizing he can't keep these feelings bottled up for another second. With a desperate shout, Zhang Yi finally confesses his love, throwing caution to the wind. The merciless fairy is actually dumbfounded, her icy composure cracking for just a split second. Sadly, the shock turns to pure disappointment as she sighs over her disciple's perceived weakness. She summons the moon sword, its cold light signaling that his confession just earned him a death sentence. Yue Yao threatens to strip his status and end his lineage for breaking the sect's most sacred rules. As the trash-tier system counts down the final 2 minutes, Zhang Yi's life flashes before his eyes. He remembers her kindness from years ago, back when he was just a child wanting to stay forever. Yue Yao is completely dumbfounded, her icy mask finally shattering as she processes his sudden, reckless confession. Our boy remembers the warmth of her cooking when he was just a kid, reaching his first cultivation milestone. Even when his progress hit a wall at 15, she was the only one who didn't give up. The merciless fairy remains silent, her yellow eyes hiding a storm of conflicting emotions beneath that cold exterior. Despite the memories, the moon sword stays pressed against his throat, ready to end his life for this heresy. Zhang Yi smiles sadly, deciding he won't let his feelings become a burden to the woman he loves. He suddenly pivots, his boots kicking up dust as he makes a desperate dash away from her blade. Yue Yao screams in horror as she realizes the idiot is actually throwing himself off the mountain's edge. As he plummets, he promises to love her in the next life, though he's definitely not happy ending like this. Gravity kicks in and panic hits as he realizes too late that he never actually learned how to fly. Our boy panics as the timer ticks down, realizing he might die and become a dog simultaneously. Suddenly, a firm hand grabs him, stopping his fatal descent just in the nick of time. Yue Yao demands to know if he is suicidal, but he simply claims his sacrifice was for her. The cold sect leader is visibly shaken, her icy exterior cracking at such a bold, reckless declaration. Frustrated by her own wavering heart, she tells him to shut up and tosses him toward the ground. He hits the dirt with a massive thud, sending a cloud of dust over the shocked onlookers. Against all odds, the system confirms his success and grants him the legendary Supreme Holy Body reward. As the dust settles, the merciless fairy looms over him, her presence as heavy as a mountain. She coldly informs him that by choosing this reckless path, he has effectively ruined his entire future. Yue Yao vows to expel him from the sect immediately, leaving our boy completely dumbfounded in the crater. Zhang Yi feels an overwhelming surge of divine power as the legendary Supreme Holy Body finally awakens within him. Yue Yao stands frozen, unable to believe her eyes as a supreme phenomenon manifests right before her. The surrounding disciples can't contain their excitement, cheering for their senior brother who just shattered his mortal limits. Our boy lets out a primal roar, his eyes burning with a golden light that signals his true ascension. A massive golden dragon erupts from the crater, soaring toward the heavens and announcing his arrival to the world. The pillar of light is so massive that cultivators from distant sects realize a new powerhouse has awakened. The elders tremble in fear, realizing this holy body might actually signify the end for all traditional cultivators. Even the ancient beasts in the deep mountains stop in their tracks, drawn to the blinding light. The spirit fox watches in terror, knowing that a supreme being has finally appeared among the human race. The sky itself ripples under the pressure of his new power, forever changing the fate of this world. Even a lone observer in the stars is dumbfounded as a massive energy beam strikes the world below. The celestial farmer watches in disbelief, realizing that whatever just happened on that planet is definitely not normal. Back on the ground, the sky splits open as the divine light finally settles into its new host. Our boy feels the supreme holy body take hold, instantly boosting him straight into the spiritualization realm. Yue Yao is completely frozen, unable to believe her disciple reached such a profound level in mere seconds. Zhang Yi cheekily suggests that falling in love is the secret to his lightning-fast growth, teasing his master. She snaps back that romance has nothing to do with it, warning him that rival sects are already coming. He realizes his new constitution is a double-edged sword that threatens the interests of every top-tier expert. The gravity of the situation hits him as he realizes he has officially become the world's most wanted target. Yue Yao tries to usher him to safety, but he refuses to let her face the storm alone. The sky ripples with hostile energy as powerful invaders force their way into the sect's sacred grounds. 3 top-tier powerhouses emerge from the void, their overwhelming presence instantly crushing the surrounding atmosphere. These vultures look down on the pair, clearly intent on claiming the divine prize that just descended. Leading the pack are the heavy hitters from the Earth Sect, Heavenly Sect, and Wind City. Yue Yao immediately draws her blade, telling these intruders to stay out of her sect's private business. Senior Qinglian ignores the threat, her eyes locked onto our boy as she confirms his legendary awakening. She shamelessly tries to scout him, calling his master an old woman who is wasting his talent. Yue Yao fumes at the demoness, while Zhang Yi cheekily backs his master up against the thirsty recruiter. Not to be outdone, Zhou Di and Feng Wuji start throwing out bribes of women and endless resources. Yue Yao finally snaps and unleashes her full power, vowing that no one is snatching her disciple away. Zhang Yi calls out their greed, knowing they just want to turn him into a human pill ingredient. The trash-tier elders try to play it off as kindness, but their masks are clearly slipping. Our boy isn't buying it and gives them a one-finger salute, swearing loyalty to his master forever. Seeing their bribes failed, the trio instantly switches to threats, showing their true, ugly colors. Yue Yao watches with a rare smile, proud that her disciple finally has some real dignity. Senior Qinglian loses her patience and lunges forward, intent on making him her personal slave. Not wanting to be left out, the other 2 join the fray to snatch the divine prize. Yue Yao won't let them touch a hair on his head and prepares to face them all. Their powers collide in a massive shockwave that threatens to level the entire sect grounds. Seeing his master pressured, Zhang Yi ignites his new holy body to jump into the fire. These 3 trash-tier leaders are practically drooling, completely obsessed with snatching our boy and his supreme holy body. A massive explosion of chi suddenly erupts as their combined greed clashes against the sect's defenses. The shockwave sends the 3 vultures reeling, yet they refuse to back down from their divine prize. Yue Yao desperately shields Zhang Yi from the blast, telling him to get to safety while she holds firm. Our boy is dumbfounded when he sees his master coughing up blood after tanking that brutal hit for him. Senior Qinglian mocks her, claiming she is running on fumes and should just hand the boy over already. Even while injured, the merciless fairy stands her ground, swearing they will never take him while she still breathes. The other sect disciples rush out with blades drawn, ready to die defending their senior brother from these intruders. Zhang Yi realizes that even with their spirit, the sect cannot survive a war against 3 major powers. Stepping forward with grim resolve, our boy declares he will take full responsibility to keep his family safe. The 3 vultures loom over our boy, promising him a grand future if he just ditches his sect. Yue Yao snaps at him, warning that these trash-tier elders will just refine him into a human pill. Realizing talk is cheap, the invaders prepare to crush the master to finally claim their divine prize. Suddenly, a massive crimson pillar of light pierces the heavens, stopping the bloody confrontation dead in its tracks. High above, a terrifying double-pupil eye manifests amidst a chaotic storm of red lightning and spiritual pressure. Senior Qinglian and Feng Wuji are completely dumbfounded, recognizing the legendary sign of a double-pupil holy body. Zhou Di realizes the light is coming from his own heavenly sect and erupts into a fit of joy. Our boy is baffled by the timing, wondering why these rare holy bodies are suddenly popping up everywhere. Yue Yao looks on grimly, knowing this shift in power will make the heavenly sect an unstoppable force. Laughing like a madman, Zhou Di ditches the fight to go welcome his sect's new golden child. Feng Wuji and Senior Qinglian are absolutely fuming because their ally ditched them the second things got complicated. Senior Qinglian figures that since the holy bodies will just cancel each other out, it is time to bounce. Our boy just watches this trash-tier display of cowardice, realizing these so-called experts only bully the weak. Making some lame excuses about urgent business, the two invaders prepare to tuck tail and run. Zhang Yi is not letting her off that easy, lunging forward to demand payback for insulting his sect. In a flash, he manages to tear a piece of her stockings, leaving the Grand Elder completely flustered. Standing there with the evidence, our boy feels the heat, while Yue Yao watches with a judging gaze. As Senior Qinglian escapes through a portal, he mockingly suggests she invest in higher quality legwear next time. Suddenly, his perverted system triggers a new task, rewarding him for collecting more of her intimate belongings. Despite the awkwardness, Yue Yao admits she is actually impressed with how he handled the situation today. Zhang Yi tries to act smooth, asking his master what kind of reward he gets for his performance. Yue Yao shuts him down instantly, reminding him that his previous rule-breaking still deserves a harsh punishment. She quickly pivots to the looming threat of the major sects currently surrounding their territory. Our boy suggests a bold, preemptive strike on the Earth sect to restore their sect's fading prestige. Yue Yao agrees to the plan but insists on sending a pretty disciple to accompany him on the journey. Zhang Yi's perverted imagination runs wild as he dreams of traveling with a top-tier, sexy junior sister. The master drops a bombshell, revealing his companion is actually the Grand Elder's favorite disciple, Zhang Luoyan. Zhang Yi is completely dumbfounded, realizing his dream trip is ruined by having to babysit that annoying girl. 2 days later, the duo begins their trek down the mountain path toward their dangerous destination. While Zhang Yi drinks in silence, the energetic girl won't stop yapping about her own untapped potential. Zhang Luoyan chirps away, asking if it is true that her senior brother finally reached the spiritualization stage. Our boy isn't having it, and immediately lays down the law with 3 strict rules for their journey. She just pouts and calls him boring while stuffing her face with snacks, completely ignoring his serious tone. Zhang Yi recalls the last time they teamed up, when her pill-stealing antics got him chased for miles. She shifts gears to warn him about Yahello, a rival genius who recently awakened a powerful holy body. He realizes their divine constitutions are destined to clash, especially since Yahello still holds a petty grudge. The mood shifts instantly as she starts daydreaming about all the top-tier food waiting at the Earth sect. Zhang Yi loses his cool and warns her that any more screw-ups will lead to serious consequences. From a distance, Yue Yao watches her disciples bicker as they make their way down the mountain path. She smiles to herself, hoping this dangerous mission will finally force the two of them to grow up. Yue Yao is still stuck on why our boy would risk everything just to confess his feelings to her. She stares at the horizon, wondering if mortal emotions actually hold any weight in the cold path of cultivation. Meanwhile, the duo finally reaches the Earth sect square, where a massive crowd is already waiting for them. Zhang Yi is completely dumbfounded by the reception, never expecting to be such a celebrity in a rival sect. The local fangirls immediately swarm him, begging for autographs and a chance to admire the moon together tonight. While the guys try to brand him a spy, the ladies insist that someone that handsome couldn't be evil. Even some of the trash-tier male disciples can't help but admit that our boy's visuals are on another level. The chaotic fan meeting is suddenly interrupted by a pair of familiar, high-heeled boots stepping onto the scene. Senior Qinglian makes a grand entrance, officially welcoming her martial nephew with a surprisingly dignified and powerful aura. Zhang Yi pays his respects, noting that her usual provocative vibe has been replaced by a serious elder presence. Qinglian invites our boy inside for a private chat about the Tao, and he respectfully agrees to follow her. As they stroll through the scenic sect grounds, the atmosphere feels surprisingly peaceful for a rival territory. Zhang Yi wonders why He's the only one invited, secretly hoping his troublesome junior sister stays out of mischief. Qinglian explains that the little girl lacks the depth for this talk, unlike her and Zhang Yi's shared path. Our boy starts sweating, feeling less like a guest and more like a sheep entering a tiger's hungry mouth. They finally reach their destination, but the vibe is shifting from professional to something far more dangerous. Zhang Yi is dumbfounded to find himself in a bedroom filled with some seriously questionable cultivation tools. Dropping the elder act, Qinglian admits she's been hooked since they met, and has him right where she wants. Just as he fears for his virtue, the system offers a legendary reward if he steals her intimate clothes. Qinglian moves in close, suggesting they hit the showers before getting down to their deep discussion of the Tao. Qinglian leans in close, whispering about a suggestive game of Mandarin ducks that makes our boy's skin crawl. She mentions she's heading to prep the bath and warns him not to keep her waiting for long. Zhang Yi plays the part of the submissive junior, acting cute while secretly plotting a high-stakes laundry heist. As she begins to undress, the room fills with steam, masking her movements from the world outside. She lets her guard down completely, never suspecting her guest is more interested in her clothes than her. Our boy tries to maintain his honor but can't help peeking, his nosebleed proving he's still a man. Seeing her silhouette in the tub, he realizes this is the perfect window to strike and finish the mission. He snatches her garments and bolts, calling her an old hag and swearing they'll never meet again. Qinglian is left dumbfounded in the water, her face flushing with pure rage at being played so easily. The system grants him a Taoist fruit for the theft as he flies away, fearing her inevitable pursuit. Zhang Yi is trying to make a clean getaway when a familiar voice suddenly halts him in his tracks. Turns out Zhang Luoyan is a total glutton who just stole a rare fruit, bringing a massive headache along. Our boy realizes they are about to be swamped by a mob and wonders where his protection went. Meanwhile, the two guardian elders finally wake up, realizing they completely overslept their mission to protect the genius. As they bolt, the girl is confused why a top-tier talent like him is running from trash-tier guards. Their escape is cut short by a group of powerful cultivators, led by a woman with a dangerous smirk. This is Jun Wuyan, the daughter of the Earth Sect leader, and she is clearly looking for trouble. Zhang Yi recognizes her immediately, cursing his luck for running into a woman known for her sadistic tendencies. He asks how they even know each other, noticing the younger girl is absolutely fuming with resentment. It turns out this demonic woman once stole her favorite snack, and she has never forgiven the theft. Jun Wuyan mocks the girl over a simple snack, while our boy just can't handle their combined idiocy. Things get heated when Jun Wuyan accuses her of stealing a precious vermilion fruit, demanding a heavy punishment. Zhang Yi tries to play peacemaker, offering to pay for the fruit just to keep things from getting messy. Feeling like a total burden, Zhang Luoyan breaks down in tears, apologizing for dragging him into her drama. Jun Wuyan isn't interested in money, making it clear that the brat needs to apologize to her first. Fed up, Zhang Luoyan triggers her enlargement technique, turning her snack into a massive, sugar-coated weapon of war. Jun Wuyan dives in for the kill, sneering that she will never apologize to someone so beneath her. Their weapons collide with a loud thud, sending shockwaves through the air as the two girls go all out. Watching the chaos, our boy realizes that fights between women are way more terrifying than any monster he's faced. He notes they are both at the golden core stage, meaning this brawl will be decided by pure skill. The clash is intense, but Zhang Luoyan's sugar-coated weapon isn't just for show as she pushes back hard. Jun Wuyan smirks, admitting that while the girl has some decent power, it is still not enough to win. She strikes a confident pose, thinking it is a total shame that her opponent had to face a genius. Fed up with the ego, Zhang Luoyan leaps into the air, calling her rival a narcissistic witch. Suddenly, Jun Wuyan lashes out with her spiritual snake technique, wrapping her chain weapon around the girl. With a sharp strike, she shatters the giant snack, thinking she has finally ended this childish tantrum. However, Zhang Luoyan just grins, telling her she celebrated way too early before doubling her power. She pulls out 2 more snacks, activating a heavy enlargement technique that leaves the crowd speechless. Our boy is completely dumbfounded, wondering just how many of those things she has been hiding in her sleeves. Not backing down, Jun Wuyan unleashes a massive cross-slash of sword chi to finish the fight once and for all. Jun Wuyan is completely caught off guard, realizing her opponent's speed is on a whole different level. The force of the impact sends her flying backward, while the nearby disciples panic at the sudden turn. Before she hits the ground, a powerful hand catches her, instantly stabilizing her trembling body. The Earth Sect heir, Jun Wuao, makes his entrance and demands an end to the fighting. Our boy realizes this newcomer is also in the spiritualization stage and shouldn't be underestimated at all. Jun Wuao plays the gentleman, questioning why a senior would let his sister bully others so ruthlessly. Zhang Yi tries to explain that battle is unpredictable, while attempting to clarify that they aren't actually related. Seeing a chance to cause more chaos, Zhang Luoyan instantly switches into a top-tier acting performance. She begins wailing about being abandoned, asking if her big brother has truly lost all love for her. Our boy is left dumbfounded as she pummels his chest, wondering how she became such a professional manipulator. Jun Wuyan insists that sharing a surname makes them siblings, wondering if their bond has reached an intimate level. The surrounding crowd is green with envy, shouting that our boy doesn't realize how blessed he truly is. Jun Wuao decides that as the older brother, Zhang Yi must be punished for his sister's reckless behavior. He immediately unleashes the Divine Purple Cloud technique, a high-level move meant to crush any opposition instantly. Zhang Yi tells the little troublemaker to hide while he tests out some spells he learned in his downtime. He counters with the six-fold heaven-piercing strike, channeling massive amounts of mana to meet the incoming threat head-on. The two powerful techniques collide in a violent clash of purple and gold energy that shakes the ground. A blinding explosion erupts as the raw power of the spiritualization realm masters finally reaches its breaking point. The shockwave sends the siblings reeling, leaving them completely stunned by the sheer overwhelming force of the counterattack. Our boy just smirks, noting he barely broke a sweat, while Zhang Luoyan celebrates her brother's absolute dominance. Jun Wuao stands there completely dumbfounded, wondering how a supreme holy body lets Zhang Yi crush him so easily. The tension breaks when Senior Qinglian descends from the sky. Noting that this little skirmish has become quite the spectacle, she flashes a dangerous smile, asking our boy why he left so early without finishing their discussion on the Tao. Zhang Yi starts sweating, realizing his spiritual energy is drained and he won't be able to outrun this thirsty elder. She lands with an air of authority, warning him to be a good boy before she's forced to use power. Watching from the sidelines, Jun Wuao wonders how Zhang Yi will survive an encounter with the infamous venomous beauty. Meanwhile, Zhang Luoyan is just impressed that her senior brother has the guts to offend such a high-tier powerhouse. Our boy keeps his cool, smirking as he challenges the elder to discuss her version of the Tao right here. Senior Qinglian suddenly turns red, realizing she can't reveal her true, scandalous intentions in front of all these disciples. Seizing the awkward silence, Zhang Yi grabs his sister and bails, claiming they've already discussed more than enough for today. The Earth Sect trio is fuming, each plotting a different way to humiliate or capture our boy tonight. Jun Wuao steps up, playing the scholar card by inviting Zhang Yi to a poetry duel over drinks. The sect heir is convinced his literary genius will crush Zhang Yi, where brute force failed earlier. Our boy just smirks, knowing his modern Earth education makes him a god-tier poet in this world. Senior Qinglian leads the way, secretly salivating at the thought of having Zhang Yi as her main dish. They arrive at the majestic heavenly pavilion, the perfect stage for a high-stakes battle of wits and words. The local disciples are divided, with some calling him a loser, while others swoon over his perfect face. As the wine flows, the tension rises under the watchful eyes of the crowd cheering for their master. Meanwhile, the two girls have abandoned dignity, turning the elegant banquet into a trash-tier food-eating contest. Zhang Yi stays cautious, having already used a detoxification technique to ensure no dirty tricks ruin his night. Jun Wuao confidently kicks things off, deciding to use wine as his opening theme for the duel. Our boy takes a sip, genuinely curious to see if this supposed genius actually has any real game. The heir begins his recital, looking out toward the horizon as he channels his inner literary master. His words actually trigger a spiritual manifestation, leaving the local trash-tier disciples absolutely dumbfounded by his talent. While Jun Wuyan swoons over her brother, Zhang Luoyan just pouts, refusing to admit he's even remotely impressive. Senior Qinglian watches with a smirk, convinced that Zhang Yi is about to get completely schooled in poetry. After finishing, the heir asks for a critique, and Zhang Yi politely admits the performance was pretty dynamic. He realizes that, in this world, top-tier lyrics can literally bend reality, so he can't just coast. Sensing an opening, the thirsty elder suggests he write about the moon to honor his master's name. Suddenly, a system mission triggers, and our boy decides it's time to get serious for those rewards. Zhang Yi prepares to school the arrogant heir, who still thinks our boy is just some talentless amateur. He activates a secret technique to raid his memories of Earth, searching for the ultimate poetic masterpiece. After finding the perfect verses, he decides to dedicate this performance to his master, Yue Yao. The crowd is left dumbfounded, sensing that the atmosphere is shifting into something far more intense. He raises his wine cup toward the horizon, ready to trigger a manifestation that will shake the sect. With the first line about the bright moon, his voice resonates with the very fabric of reality. The local disciples panic as the sky turns dark, realizing Zhang Yi's words are literally changing the world. Golden energy swirls around him as he continues, proving his supreme body can command the heavens themselves. A massive heavenly palace appears in the sky, leaving everyone staring at the impossible sight in silence. Even the arrogant Jun Wuao is forced to acknowledge Zhang Yi's god-tier talent, while the girls swoon. Our boy continues his recital, his supreme body resonating with ancient verses as golden energy flares. Miles away, Yue Yao watches the moon manifestation, feeling a strange pang of sadness for her disciple. The heavenly palace shines brighter, symbolizing the fleeting nature of life and the inevitability of goodbyes. The crowd is absolutely wrecked, with disciples weeping over lost loves and the sheer beauty of his words. While Jun Wuyan gets jealous, Jun Wuao struggles with his own complicated and rather weird realizations. Zhang Yi keeps it classy, holding his wine cup while the Earth sect elites stand there completely stunned. He delivers the final line, wishing for eternal life and souls that soar together toward the heavens. The entire sect erupts in cheers, fully convinced that Zhang Yi is a once-in-a-generation literary god. Even the arrogant Junwu Ao bows in respect, admitting that his own skills are trash tier in comparison. With the mission complete, the system rewards him, leaving our boy feeling smug with his new magic points. Senior Qinglian realizes she's been played, feeling like a total clown after witnessing Zhang Yi's brilliant poetic display. She confronts our boy, trashing his master as a mere old woman, while begging him for a personal poem. Desperate for validation, she asks if he's ever truly held a place for her in his heart. Zhang Yi feels the pressure mounting as another wave of drama crashes down on him during this mission. He keeps it real, telling her she's just a kind senior and could never replace his master. The rejection hits her like a spiritual blast, leaving her completely dumbfounded and heartbroken by his cold words. Suddenly, she flips the script, claiming his theft of her undergarments proves he's just a shy, thirsty admirer. Zhang Luoyan's jaw hits the floor as she realizes her senior brother might actually be a massive pervert. While Junwu Ao finds this hobby respectable, his sister is utterly disgusted by the trash-tier behavior on display. Our boy panics, desperately claiming he only took the clothes for scientific study before trying to return them. Our boy panics when he realizes the system snatched the evidence back, leaving his explanation sounding like a lie. Senior Qinglian just blushes harder, suggesting they spend every day together discussing the deeper mysteries of the Tao. Before things get weirder, the two guardian elders arrive with a flashy pose to reclaim their sect's disciple. Qinglian's expression turns cold as she prepares to crush the intruders for acting so bold in her territory. The elders launch a combined spiritual blast, hoping to end the purple-haired witch with a single, decisive strike. She finds them incredibly annoying, swinging her massive weapon to silence their shouting once and for all. The impact sends the protectors soaring into the distance, leaving Zhang Yi and his sister completely wide open. The pair trembles in fear as a massive shadow looms, realizing they are truly screwed this time around. Qinglian looms over them like a predator, laughing that no amount of screaming will bring them any help. Suddenly, a golden portal tears through the sky as powerful figures arrive to stop the demoness's wild behavior. Yue Yao finally makes her grand entrance, warning everyone that nobody touches her precious disciple while she is around. Our boy is beyond relieved to see his master, while Senior Qinglian realizes the old woman has finally arrived. Even the Earth Sect heir is mesmerized by her beauty, forcing Jun Wuyan to shield his wandering eyes. The surrounding disciples are losing their minds, wishing they had a master as ethereal as the merciless fairy. Yue Yao demands professional restraint, but Senior Qinglian drops a bombshell about Zhang Yi stealing her intimate garments. Stunned by the trash-tier accusation, Yue Yao insists her disciple is far too pure for such degenerate behavior. The crowd's opinion splits instantly, with some calling him a beast and others envying his legendary boldness. Poor Zhang Yi is suffering a total social death, wishing the ground would just swallow him whole right now. Refusing to hear more, Yue Yao flares her aura and demands they let her disciple leave immediately or else. Crushed by the overwhelming pressure, Senior Qinglian realizes she is outmatched and reluctantly decides to back down for today. Senior Qinglian fumes with rage, swearing that this humiliation will be repaid, and our boy will eventually be hers. Yue Yao remains cold and focused, caring only about ensuring her disciple makes it out of this mess unscathed. The group finally begins their exit, vanishing into a pillar of light to leave the Earth Sect behind. Before he can fully escape, Senior Qinglian decides to toss Zhang Yi a little parting gift to stay relevant. She shoves her own garments into his hands, leaving everyone dumbfounded, while our boy desperately denies being a pervert. Even his allies can't help but look at him with pure judgment, convinced that all perverts say the same thing. Surprisingly, the Earth Sect disciples aren't disgusted, and instead cheer for their new idol as he walks away. The female disciples take it a step further, literally throwing their own clothes at him as tokens of love. Zhang Yi is losing his mind, realizing his pure image is officially dead if he doesn't stop this madness. Meanwhile, the crowd starts bribing Zhang Luoyan with snacks, just to get a love letter into his hands. Zhang Luoyan is convinced she has found paradise after scoring a mountain of snacks from the obsessed crowd. Our boy has to literally drag the little glutton away before the mob of disciples catches them. They finally arrive back at the Taoist sect, under the moonlight, carrying their heavy loot and even heavier reputations. Zhang Yi is completely drained from the ordeal, while his sister is just happy about her massive food haul. A disciple greets them and explains that the sect leader has been waiting for him at the peak. He starts having some trash-tier thoughts, wondering if his master is looking for a romantic midnight encounter. High on the moon shadow peak, Yue Yao stands like a goddess, her presence commanding the entire night sky. Zhang Yi watches from behind a tree, totally dumbfounded by the sheer beauty of his master in the moonlight. She immediately calls him out, telling him there is no point in trying to sneak around her sharp senses. He tries to act smooth, but she quickly reminds him that she called him here strictly for official business. Yue Yao explains that the Earth Sect was just a warm-up for the upcoming beast beheading competition. Our boy is shocked to hear that the legendary Yahello will also be attending the grand gathering. Yue Yao warns him that a clash with the Heavenly Sect's top genius is now completely unavoidable. Zhang Yi confidently claims that since he crushed him in literature, he'll do the same in a fight. To ensure his safety, she bestows upon him the Yang Sword, a divine weapon overflowing with pure energy. He feels incredibly touched by her protection and wonders how he can ever truly repay her kindness. Suddenly, his system triggers a new task to share a Taoist fruit for a legendary sword technique reward. When he mentions having something good for her, she mistakes his intentions for trash-tier nonsense and gets flustered. He reveals the glowing Taoist fruit, proving he wasn't just messing around with his beautiful master. Yue Yao is dumbfounded that he somehow obtained a rare treasure from the great Tao spirit tree. Zhang Yi explains he won the fruit from Senior Qinglian, and insists his master use it for her tribulation. Yue Yao scolds him for being too selfless in a ruthless world where people rarely care for others. He argues that her gift of the Yang sword is far more precious, making her blush and act defensive. Refusing to take no for an answer, our boy decides to split the glowing treasure right down the middle. He playfully threatens to never leave her side tonight unless she agrees to share the fruit's divine blessings. The cold sect leader finally caves to his persistence, taking her half while trying to hide her obvious embarrassment. Sharing the fruit triggers a system reward, instantly granting him the legendary immortal poet sword technique through divine verses. Zhang Yi can't help but tease her further, jokingly demanding to watch her eat every single bite. Deciding that bickering with her cheeky disciple is a losing battle, she prepares to finally consume the essence. As she absorbs the fruit's power, the pure energy begins to stabilize her cultivation for the challenges ahead. The spiritual energy of the fruit immediately reacts, flooding Yue Yao's body with pure, unrefined power. She struggles to contain the force as it violently collides within her meridians and tests her limits. Seeing her success, our boy decides it's time to enjoy his own share of the glowing treasure. The effect is instantaneous, surging through him with a potency that puts ordinary heavenly treasures to shame. Yue Yao watches in disbelief, shocked that he can refine such massive energy with such effortless speed. Gripping the Yang sword, he feels confident enough to take on anyone at the upcoming competition. However, his master quickly humbles him, explaining that his rival Yahello is still the stronger fighter. He suspects some high-level figure might be backing his enemy, but he refuses to back down now. After promising to be careful, he learns that Zhang Luoyan will be joining him for the journey. Our boy can only sigh, praying that his troublesome sister doesn't cause another massive disaster during the fight. Our boy and his sister finally set off toward the location of the beast beheading competition. While Zhang Luoyan roasts a whole pig, Zhang Yi teases her for being such a massive glutton. She just huffs, telling her brother that he clearly doesn't know how to enjoy the finer things. When she heads off to find mushrooms, Zhang Yi warns her to stay alert in these dangerous woods. He senses the atmosphere shifting as a demonic presence watches them from the shadows with glowing red eyes. Suddenly, a winged beast dives from the sky and snatches their breakfast right off the fire. Zhang Yi immediately draws his sword, realizing a high-level demonic beast has just crashed their meal. Poor Zhang Luoyan is absolutely devastated, weeping over the loss of the pig she spent all morning roasting. Refusing to let their food get away, they both take off into the forest to hunt the thief down. The beast is thrilled, thinking it's been way too long since it tasted meat cooked by humans. Zhang Luoyan lunges at the thief with feral energy, demanding it return her precious breakfast immediately. She actually latches onto the creature's back, sinking her teeth into its fur with terrifying, hunger-driven determination. The beast is completely caught off guard, wondering if this human girl is actually some kind of rabid monster. It struggles to shake her off, crying out that she is acting way more like a beast than itself. Desperate to satisfy its hunger before things get worse, the creature quickly gulps down the stolen roasted pig. Our boy Zhang Yi finally catches up, ready to end this chase with his sect's specialized binding technique. He unleashes the immortal binding arts, wrapping the thief in golden ropes that drain its spiritual energy instantly. The beast realizes it is doomed as its strength fades, unable to maintain its massive form any longer. In a puff of smoke, the monster reverts to a tiny, tearful girl who just wants more meat. Zhang Luoyan thinks the new form looks delicious, leaving Zhang Yi totally dumbfounded by the bizarre turn of events. The little beast girl trembles, pleading that she only stole a bit of meat and shouldn't be punished. Our boy Zhang Yi isn't buying the act, while Zhang Luoyan hungrily suggests they just eat the demon instead. Looking into her eyes, the terrified creature realizes she is dealing with actual devils in human skin. Desperate, she claims to be the legendary divine beast Bai Zhe, hoping her status will grant her protection. Luoyan just drools more at the thought of divine meat, while Zhang Yi calls out her trash-tier bluff. Suddenly, the system triggers a task to subdue her, with a hilarious penalty involving Luoyan turning into a dog. Zhang Yi pivotally suggests using her as a mount first, though Luoyan still plans on a post-ride snack. As the beast girl begs for her life, Zhang Yi unleashes his beast-taming arts to seal the deal. The attempt backfires spectacularly, and a cloud of smoke reveals that Luoyan has officially been turned into a pooch. Zhang Yi can only laugh nervously as his sister-turned-dog demands to know what kind of trash-tier technique he used. Zhang Yi realizes his standard arts are trash-tier against a divine beast, while the creature mocks his sister's misfortune. Even as a pooch, Luoyan isn't taking any lip and delivers a swift, rainbow-vomiting slap to the winged girl. Seizing the chaos, our boy activates a high-level master-servant contract to finally bring the little beast to heel. The divine creature is dumbfounded by his massive spiritual aura as the contract binds her soul against her will. With the seal complete, Zhang Yi casually informs his new mount that her flying days are now his property. Despite her pride, she finds his head pats surprisingly addictive and wonders if she is being totally swindled. Luoyan suggests turning the girl into emergency rations, but Zhang Yi reminds her she is the one stuck barking. Furious at being the butt of the joke, the little dog sinks her teeth into her brother's leg. He just sighs and promises that her embarrassing canine transformation will finally wear off by tomorrow morning. With his new servant and his grumpy sister in tow, the group continues their journey through the dense forest. The scene shifts to the massive Nether Mountain Beast beheading competition, where the world's top geniuses have gathered. Among the elite is Yahello, the heavenly sect's top dog, who finds the entire opening ceremony utterly boring. He looks down at the trash-tier crowd, disgusted that such weaklings are even allowed to compete alongside him. Suddenly, a seductive spirit named CG manifests, teasingly offering her power to ensure he secures an easy victory. Yahello isn't having it, reminding the spirit that she already violated his bottom line by forcing his awakening. She just brushes his anger off, claiming her only desire was to see his holy body reach its potential. With his eyes glowing, he demands that this parasite finally leave his soul after 3 long years of possession. Shiji just purrs in response, admitting she is far too addicted to the sweet scent of his blood. She continues to mock his frustration, knowing full well that no one else can see their private little arrangement. Meanwhile, the surrounding disciples gossip about his arrogance, unaware of the literal demon whispering in his ear. Yahello is pushed to the edge, his eyes burning with a sudden and violent realization. He finally snaps, lashing out at the trash-tier crowd while declaring that insects don't deserve to live. The arena quickly turns into a total slaughterhouse as he ruthlessly mows down anyone in his path. Standing over the carnage, he cold-bloodedly decides that a simple death is far too merciful for these weaklings. Shiji just enjoys the show, casually harvesting the low-level blood chi to satisfy her endless hunger. The horrified spectators can't believe their eyes, realizing their handsome genius is actually a total monster. High above the chaos, our boy Zhang Yi is having a rough time as his mount loses control. The divine beast screams that it can't stop, hurtling toward the arena like a feathered white meteor. Yahello is completely dumbfounded when a giant fluffball suddenly smashes right into his path. The trio emerges from the wreckage, looking absolutely pathetic and feeling more than a little nauseous. Shiji is practically drooling because the supreme holy body she has been hunting has finally arrived. Our boy Zhang Yi steps up with his sister in tow, ready to face the trash-tier genius head-on. The peanut gallery is already losing it, whispering about Zhang Yi's legendary poem and his heaven-defying talent. Suddenly, the great Zhou envoys shut everyone up, announcing that the main event is finally about to kick off. The tension is thick enough to cut as the heavy hitters stare each other down before the bloodbath begins. The rules are simple. Kill the most beasts to become the immortal master and bag 1,000,000 stones. Zhang Yi realizes the dynasty is just using them, while his little companions are terrified of being mistaken for prey. Yahello starts spewing some main character nonsense about clearing his shame, but Zhang Yi isn't buying the act. When the system offers a massive reward for crushing his rival, our boy decides it's time to get serious. He mocks his opponent with a gesture and tells him to bring his best game to the battlefield. The beast beheading competition officially kicks off in the Black Forest, as trash-tier cultivators rush in for glory. Our boy Zhang Yi finds the shouting cringy, worrying that these idiots will alert every beast in the area. He grumbles about being used as a mount while his little companions demand he go faster for snacks. Meanwhile, the spirit Shiiji teases Yahello with a pet name, much to his visible annoyance. Yahello plans to let the other idiots scout ahead while they wait to swoop in and profit. Suddenly, a massive, terrifying aura fills the air, making the fodder disciples realize they are in deep trouble. The atmosphere burns up as the panicked group prepares for a fight they definitely aren't ready for. Out of the smoke charges the Shiba Inu King, a spiritualization stage beast that looks absolutely shredded. With one massive swing, the buff beast sends the cultivators flying like ragdolls, proving his absolute dominance. The monster stops mid-slaughter, looking completely dumbfounded by a group that actually has the guts to stand firm. Ma Xianqi steps up, claiming that true experts always arrive at the perfect moment to save the day. The crowd goes wild, recognizing him as the reigning champion of the last beast beheading competition. He talks big, telling the massive beast that a mere dog can't even touch his shadow. This self-proclaimed expert charges up his 1,000 birds lightning whip, confident this flashy move will end the fight. Turns out, the Shiba Inu King doesn't care about flashy names and just pimp slaps him into the dirt. The disciples are dumbfounded, complaining about the lack of morals in a beast that uses surprise attacks. Ma Xianqi ends up looking surprisingly peaceful for a guy who just got his pride and bones shattered. Just then, our boy Zhang Yi strolls in with his chaotic entourage, wondering why everyone is already gathered. He sighs at the unwanted attention, realizing his status as a genius makes him a magnet for fanboys. The fallen champion looks up, weakly entrusting the beast to Zhang Yi's hands, before passing out for real. Zhang Yi stares at the fallen expert, wondering if this guy is actually serious about his dramatic exit. Our boy promises to avenge the fallen hero and take first place, while his dog sister cries over the tragedy. Suddenly, the trash tier champion snaps awake, shouting that he hasn't kicked the bucket just yet. The massive Shiba Inu King lunges again, sending the nearby disciples into a total panic as it attacks. Zhang Yi steps in, deciding it's the perfect time to test drive the Yang sword his master gifted him. He launches a lightning-fast strike, aiming to end this beastly encounter before it even gets started. His blade flashes in a blur of light, carving through the air and the beast's defenses with ease. The Shiba Inu King is left dumbfounded, realizing its high defense is the only thing keeping it in one piece. As the beast tries to bolt, Zhang Yi's chaotic companions give chase, refusing to let their new toy escape. Surrounded by starstruck fans, Zhang Yi plays it cool, reminding everyone they still have a competition to win. Yahello watches the horizon, sensing that the real carnage is only just beginning to unfold. Xieji smirks beside him, eager to witness the bloody show they are about to start. Deep in the forest, the divine beast and the little dog accidentally lure a massive stampede. Our boy is left sweating as he realizes his pets have just invited the entire demonic army. A terrifying wave of monsters crashes through the trees, hungry for the disciples' blood. The surrounding cultivators are forced into a frantic battle for survival against the overwhelming horde. Sensing the rising blood chi, Yahello and his spirit partner dive headfirst into the fray. They begin a ruthless slaughter, carving through the beasts with a dark, suffocating power. Zhang Yi knows he can't hold back anymore, and prepares to unleash his immortal poet sword technique. He summons a massive torrent of sword chi, obliterating the monsters in a blinding flash of divine light. Zhang Yi unleashes a strike so massive it feels like a literal ocean of golden sword chi. The nearby disciples and his pets are left dumbfounded by the sheer scale of his spiritualization stage power. Suddenly, the system penalty ends, and Luoyan finally regains her human form while the divine beast fears for her life. Up on the observation platform, the masked envoys realize this single move just wiped out over 3,000 beasts. Yahello watches the horizon, sensing a terrifying power that completely overshadows his own dark slaughter. While he trembles at the poetic sword intent, his spirit partner is already salivating over Zhang Yi's divine blood. Our boy just sighs, thinking that being this invincible is actually getting a little lonely. When a purple tiger dares to scavenge nearby, he spots his rival and decides not to let him steal the kill. Both geniuses charge at the same time, leaving the poor beast completely confused as they close in. Their powers collide in a massive boom, turning the hunt into a direct clash between the two top-tier monsters. Shiji panics as Zhang Yi's pressure mounts, screaming for her host to stop holding back his true power. Yahello finally snaps, his eyes glowing with a sinister light, as the double pupil ability fully awakens. He declares this a fight to the death, while our boy just wonders if his rival has real moves. Their collision sends shockwaves through the forest, turning the area into a chaotic storm of blood-red energy. Zhang Yi actually starts enjoying himself, realizing that for a possessed puppet, Yahello is a decent warm-up. Frustrated by the gap in their power, Yahello curses that he never wanted to reveal this bloodthirsty secret. He unleashes a massive crimson strike, desperate to end the man who makes his legendary talent look pathetic. Our boy easily deflects the blow, taunting his rival for having such weak strength despite all that posturing. Nearby, disciples scramble for their lives, realizing that being caught in this clash of holy bodies means death. They watch in awe, noting that Yahello's demonic aura is no match for Zhang Yi's divine presence. Their blades collide again as the intensity of the duel reaches a fever pitch. Suddenly, a massive serpent and a feral bear try to crash the party, looking for an easy meal. Both fighters lose their patience, blowing the trash-tier beasts away because they are currently busy with each other. Yahello laughs like a maniac, conjuring blood daggers to overwhelm our boy from every possible angle. Zhang Yi parries the strikes, admitting that the heavenly sect's blood manipulation is actually pretty versatile. Up in the stands, the great Zhou envoys worry that this level of destruction will ruin the entire competition. Yiharan claims his double pupil state has finally decoded Zhang Yi's movements, exposing every single weakness. Realizing he can't stall anymore, our boy decides to ignite the true explosive power of his supreme holy body. The forest trembles as their ultimate techniques collide in a blinding flash of golden and crimson energy. Yahello is left dumbfounded, realizing his legendary talent is still second-rate compared to Zhang Yi's raw power. Shiji watches the clash from the sidelines, acknowledging that our boy is clearly the superior fighter. She puffs on her pipe, plotting to use Yahello's desperate desire for victory to rule the cultivation world. The great Zhou envoys suddenly intervene, demanding the two stop their personal duel since the competition is over. Meanwhile, Luoyan and the divine beast are busy devouring a massive roast, complaining they are still hungry. Yahello refuses to yield, betting that his total beast kill count will still put Zhang Yi to shame. The officials begin the final tally, calculating the massive mountain of monster corpses left behind by the participants. One envoy is left completely dumbfounded as he reads the final report, unable to believe the recorded numbers. He announces that Zhang Yi secured the win with 3,650 kills, barely edging out his rival's count of 3,600. Our boy is officially crowned the Immortal Master, though he secretly feels the fight was far from satisfying. Yahello stands in the crowd trembling with rage, realizing he is still second-rate even with a spirit's help. The crowd erupts in cheers, praising our boy's talent, while laughing at his rival's unfortunate timing. Luoyan and the divine beast immediately cling to him, shamelessly demanding a cut of the prize money. The system rewards him with magic power, but he's completely dumbfounded by a literal rocket launcher from Earth. Nearby, the loser seethes with hatred, as his spirit companion promises a chance for bloody revenge tonight. Suddenly, the heavenly sect leader arrives, publicly shaming his disciple for such a pathetic and embarrassing performance. The humiliation is the final straw, causing his eyes to glow with a terrifying, murderous red light. He looks down on his master, calling him short-sighted trash who isn't fit to lead anyone anymore. The surrounding disciples are horrified, accusing their senior brother of total betrayal and losing his mind. In his heart, he vows to slaughter everyone and rebuild a world that is actually worthy of him. As night falls over the competition penthouse, a dark and ominous energy begins to brew in the shadows. Our boy finds his sister and the divine beast passed out after treating his hard-earned stones like snacks. He scans the room, realizing the female cultivators are all trash-tier drinkers who couldn't handle a single celebration. They're all dreaming of him, begging for his attention while he just stands there feeling like a total gentleman. Little does he know, Xieji is creeping in, hungry for his divine blood and unyielding body. As he takes a sip, the system screams a warning about an invisible enemy with a nasty organ-stealing penalty. He senses a chilling aura and realizes someone is lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment. Even though his heart is racing, he knows showing fear is a death sentence against a predator like this. Deciding to strike first, he lunges at the empty air and manages to snag the invisible intruder. He slams the spirit into the floor, finally catching the sneaky parasite that thought he was easy prey. Our boy smirks, thinking it's just bad luck for this invisible trash-tier enemy to face him. Turns out he's pinned down Xieji, who's completely dumbfounded by how suffocating his aura feels. He starts pinching her cheeks, wondering why his invisible foe feels so suspiciously soft and real. Fed up with the disrespect, she blasts him back with a wave of red energy to get away. She regains her composure, certain that a mere mortal can't possibly touch her in this soul state. But Zhang Yi isn't playing around and activates his observation arts to track the shifting flow of qi. He moves like lightning, catching her mid-kick before she can even register what just happened. Both of them freeze in shock as he realizes he's currently holding onto a very feminine leg. Furious at his strange detection methods, she prepares to give him a nasty taste of her sharp claws. She slashes forward with lethal intent, determined to tear our boy apart for his impudence. Zhang Yi desperately shouts for everyone to dodge as the lethal red energy slashes through the room. Instead of being terrified, the The trash tier disciples are thrilled that their senior brother is being so rough. Our boy is absolutely dumbfounded, realizing this looks like a total misunderstanding of epic proportions. The commotion finally wakes up Zhang Luoyan and Bai Zhe, who are annoyed their food coma was interrupted. Shiji realizes the party is getting too crowded, and decides it is time to make a quick exit. Not letting her escape, Zhang Yi locks onto her aura and reaches out to stop the spirit. He catches something, but the texture makes him realize he has grabbed something he definitely should not have. In his mind, he feels like Adam picking the forbidden fruit, touching a power meant only for gods. Xie is mortified, never having been insulted by such a bold, hands-on move in her entire life. She flees into the night, promising that next time she won't let Zhang Yi off so easily. Zhang Yi is left reeling as the system rewards him for defeating an enemy he barely even saw. Bai Zhe explains that powerful soul bodies often linger in this world, possessing strength far beyond trash-tier ghosts. Our boy gives the little divine beast a head pat, impressed by her vast knowledge of cultivation laws. Still, he can't help but wonder if that mysterious intruder was the secret power backing his rival. Meanwhile, in another penthouse, Yahello sits in meditation as the flustered spirit finally returns to his side. He questions her whereabouts, only for her to vent about how Zhang Yi actually had the audacity to touch her. The silence in the room is deafening as he processes her complaints with a cold, detached expression. She demands to know if he's jealous, but he bluntly shuts her down, showing zero interest in her charms. The argument devolves into petty insults, with her questioning his preferences while he loses his cool completely. Fueled by pure spite, he vows to crush Zhang Yi and make the entire cultivation world bow before him. Xie realizes that while Zhang Yi is called merciless, Yahello is the one truly destined for blood. 2 days pass as our boy finally makes his way back to the familiar peaks of the sect. Zhang Yi arrives with his sister and the little divine beast, relieved to finally be home after the chaos. Our boy is left dumbfounded as a massive cloud of dust kicks up from disciples charging the returning champion. The girls swarm him with praise while others can't stop poking the adorable Bai Zhe like a plushie. The rowdy welcome is cut short when the sect leader appears, looking absolutely done with their lack of decency. She orders Zhang Yi to follow her immediately, giving him a sinking feeling that he's in major trouble. They head straight to the council hall, where the atmosphere is thick with the weight of his recent victory. Sipping her tea, she warns him that his rival won't take this loss lying down and will seek revenge. Our boy acknowledges the danger, knowing he must reach a higher realm to survive the enemies yet to come. Yao slams her cup down, signaling she has one final, serious matter to discuss with him. She brings up the investigation into the senior Qinglian incident, warning him that his punishment is still pending. Our boy just smirks, jokingly asking if all this anger is actually just a hidden case of jealousy. She loses her cool completely, slamming the table while vehemently denying that she's feeling even a bit jealous. He doubles down on the charm, pulling out a rose and promising he will always like his master. Fed up with his trash-tier flirting, she uses her power to send him flying straight out the door. Our boy lands hard, but his confusion grows when he sees Luoyan trembling with a letter in hand. Seeing her tear-streaked face, he immediately drops the act and asks what could possibly be this wrong. She collapses onto him in tears, crying out that her life is over because of a forced marriage. Turns out her father is forcing an engagement with the great Zhou crown prince, and time is running out. Our boy realizes the rumors were true, and his sister really is just a pawn for the great Zhou. Luoyan suggests a fake relationship to break the contract, but he thinks going against a prince is suicide. She begs for help while he panics, knowing their master would definitely kick them out for such nonsense. Suddenly, the merciless fairy herself appears, demanding to know why they are lacking any sense of sect decency. Before he can explain, Luoyan drops a bombshell about their marriage, leaving him completely dumbfounded and facepalming. The news hits their master like a physical blow, leaving her frozen in a state of absolute disbelief. Not wasting a second, Luoyan drags him away to find Bai Zhe before their master can actually process. Fuming with rage, she tells them to get lost but vows they will face her wrath upon return. The other disciples are losing their minds, convinced that Luoyan has shamelessly seduced their favorite senior brother. She decides to let the drama slide for now, though she fully intends to punish those rebels later. Yao decides our boy needs to be misunderstood, so he finally appreciates the path of merciless cultivation. High above the forest, Bai Zhe carries the siblings as they make their daring escape from the sect. While Luoyan is having a blast, the divine beast cries over being demoted to a trash-tier flying mount. Zhang Yi initially refuses to help, declaring he will never pretend to be his own sister's lover. That changes when the system threatens him with lightning and offers a legendary magic brush as a reward. Our boy immediately switches gears, turning on the charm to secure that sweet loot, despite his previous pride. Bai Zhe watches in pure disgust, feeling like a dog being forced to swallow their sugary, fake romance. As they fly, he asks Luoyan why she is so obsessed with eating those simple, candied haws. She reveals a gritty past where she and her mother lived as ostracized servants doing backbreaking housework. Those treats were her first taste of happiness, handmade by a mother who saved every scrap of sugar. Zhang Luoyan reveals the gritty truth about her mother being poisoned, leaving her with no one to make her treats. Every bite of those candied haws is a bittersweet reminder of the only person who ever truly loved her. Zhang Yi offers a rare moment of comfort, assuring her that her mother is likely watching from a better place. She tries to compose herself, touched by his kindness, as she continues to feast on her favorite childhood snack. As they fly, she worries about being a burden, but our boy claims protecting his junior is just his duty. They eventually reach the Great Zhou imperial capital, a sprawling city that holds nothing but bad memories for her. Arriving at the general's residence, the sheer scale of the place makes the stakes of this mission feel real. The servants are immediately dumbfounded by Zhang Yi's handsome face and the powerful aura he naturally radiates. The reunion turns sour instantly when three hostile figures emerge to greet the unfilial daughter with pure venom. Great General Zhang Wufeng and his arrogant family waste no time calling her trash for returning so late. Luoyan drops a bombshell, claiming she and our boy are in love just to break the prince's engagement. Madame Zhang isn't having it, screaming that the trash-tier daughter should just shut up and marry royalty. Luoyan finally snaps, accusing the woman of poisoning her mother and making her childhood a living hell. The whole family is dumbfounded by her rebellion, with Zhang He even itching to deliver a beating. Zhang Yi steps forward, reassuring his junior that he has a special trick to make them pay. He activates a secret technique, his mana surging as he prepares to humiliate the arrogant household. Suddenly, Madame Zhang realizes her body is no longer her own, her mouth moving against her will. Our boy decides to spice things up by tossing a smiling half-step pill into the mix. As she swallows the pill, the general erupts in a murderous rage, threatening the Taoist sect's genius. Zhang Yi just smirks, telling Luoyan to watch as the pill drives her stepmother absolutely insane. Madame Zhang starts dancing like a total lunatic, singing nonsense while her husband and son watch in absolute horror. Seizing the opening, Luoyan demands the truth about her mother, and the drugged woman gleefully admits to the murder. The confession hits the family like a freight train, leaving the general speechless, while our boy just smirks. The stepmother doesn't stop there, bragging about how she planned to use Luoyan as a mere money-making tool. Blinded by years of suppressed rage, Luoyan finally snaps and delivers a brutal, lightning-fast strike to the woman's face. As the trash-tier mother hits the pavement, the rest of the family can only stare at the scene in disbelief. Zhang He rushes to his mother's side while the general has the audacity to demand Luoyan show some forgiveness. Luoyan officially disowns her pathetic father, while Zhang Yi readies his blade, knowing a peaceful exit is now impossible. The chaos is interrupted by the arrival of the Great Zhou royalty, led by the arrogant crown prince Shen Zhangqing. Seeing a chance for revenge, Zhang He desperately begs the prince to execute Luoyan for her supposed crimes. Shen Zhangqing tells the trash-tier brother to get lost, caring only about his reunion with Luoyan. Zhang He is left completely dumbfounded, realizing his life means absolutely nothing to the cold crown prince. The atmosphere shifts instantly when Luoyan and Princess Chenyu share a joyful, long-awaited embrace. Our boy watches them closely, deducing that the two girls must have been inseparable childhood friends. Chenyu is thrilled to meet Zhang Yi, noting he looks far more handsome than his royal portraits. Zhang Yi politely acknowledges her beauty, while sensing that her personality feels strangely familiar to him. The crown prince demands to know if Zhang Yi is finally ready to hand Luoyan over. Our boy remains unfazed, declaring he is actually here to help Luoyan officially break her engagement. Shen Zhangqing flares his royal aura in a rage, daring anyone to challenge his absolute authority. Much to his surprise, both Luoyan and his own sister loudly shout their opposition to the marriage. Shen Zhangqing is fuming because his own sister is siding with the enemy against his royal decree. Our boy steps in and proposes a duel to settle this mess with virtue and a clean break. The crown prince agrees, confident that his army of experts will make short work of this sect brat. Zhang He charges in blindly, fueled by a trash-tier grudge and a desperate need for revenge. Turns out, he's no match for our boy, who sends him flying with a single, effortless strike. Zhang Wufeng catches his battered son, realizing the boy is completely out cold after that pathetic display. Shen Zhangqing starts sweating, finally realizing that Zhang Yi's power is way beyond what he initially expected. He calls out his elite golden armor guards to surround our boy and force him into a corner. Zhang Yi doesn't play fair, opting for a series of low blows that leave the guards utterly dumbfounded. While Luoyan is dying of embarrassment, the others are forced to admit his shameless style is actually effective. Our boy keeps the pressure on, making the elite guards wonder how a mere cultivator can be this strong. He reminds them that raw physical power is just one of the many perks of his supreme holy body. Seeing his men get trashed, Shen Zhongqing decides to step in personally to reclaim his royal dignity. Zhang Yi doesn't care about titles and clocks the crown prince so hard he starts tasting the rainbow. The onlookers are completely dumbfounded that someone would actually dare to lay hands on the great Zhou royalty. Surprisingly, the prince feels a strange comfort as the punch accidentally clears his blocked meridians like a massage. To keep things dignified, our boy pulls out a literal RPG, claiming a royal opponent deserves a heavy-duty weapon. He pulls the trigger without hesitation, leaving the guards terrified by his sheer cruelty and lack of common sense. Shen Zhongqing realizes too late that he has zero time to dodge the incoming blast of spiritual energy. A massive explosion rocks the area, making Zhang Luoyan wonder if her brother is just putting on a fireworks show. Shen Zhongqing lies there in total bliss, realizing the blast actually tempered his body like a high-grade tonic. While the girls call him a total pervert, our boy just looks on with pure disgust at the display. Instead of running, the prince jumps back up, begging for another round of that painful spiritual massage. Zhang Yi decides to end the game with a brutal kick, making the prince realize he is totally outclassed. Finally reaching his limit, the battered royal pulls out a white flag and admits he is completely cooked. Luoyan celebrates her brother's victory, while the princess sighs, wishing her own brother was not such an embarrassment. Standing tall, Zhang Yi demands the prince keep his word and scrap that forced marriage once and for all. In his head, Shen Zhongqing starts seeing Zhang Yi as a literal god sent to guide his cultivation path. He agrees to cancel the wedding, but only if he can become a disciple under our boy's wing. When Zhang Yi rejects him for being male, the prince desperately settles for calling him his new big brother. The guards and the general are absolutely dumbfounded that their royal prince is begging a random cultivator for brotherhood. Our boy accepts the deal, while the prince promises to never lay a finger on Luoyan's business again. Luoyan feels deeply indebted to her brother, just as the system rewards Zhang Yi with a legendary magic brush. Suddenly, the princess asks to join the sect, hoping to stay close to her favorite new big brother. The system forces a new mission on him, making Zhang Yi curse his luck for having such demanding tasks. He agrees to help her, leaving the prince wishing he could just swap genders to join the fun. While the girls celebrate their future together, Zhang Yi wonders how Hell ever convince his icy master. They take to the skies on Baizhe, leaving the drama of the imperial city far behind them. The divine beast grumbles about being a mere taxi while the princess claims her father won't mind her leaving. Surrounded by beauties, our boy prides himself on staying a total gentleman, despite the awkward situation. Zhang Yi tries to stay cool while the princess gets way too close for comfort during their flight. Poor Baizhe finally hits her limit, crying out that she is too hungry to keep this taxi service going. The divine beast loses her grip on the sky, sending our boy and the girls into a dizzying freefall. They crash straight into the forest below, leaving a massive trail of dust and broken branches behind them. Miraculously, they land safely, though Zhang Yi ends up as a human cushion for the two giggling girls. Leaving the ladies to look after the starving beast, Zhang Yi heads off to find some much-needed supplies. While trekking through the woods, he suddenly senses a dense pocket of spiritual chi nearby that piques his interest. He stumbles upon a hidden spiritual spring, only to realize someone is already taking a dip in the water. His heart skips a beat when he recognizes the provocatively beautiful senior Qinglian relaxing in the natural pool. The elder spots her favorite martial nephew immediately, leaving our boy completely dumbfounded and blushing like a total amateur. Senior Qinglian teases our boy, claiming their meeting is fate while she flaunts her bandage-wrapped look in the water. Zhang Yi is completely dumbfounded, wondering why on earth anyone would wear bandages while taking a spiritual bath. She explains that she is actually using the spring to heal from a nasty encounter with a demonic beast. With a quick flash of mana, she magically swaps her wet bandages for her signature provocative battle gear. Now fully dressed, she makes it clear that our boy is not escaping her clutches this time around. Zhang Yi feels torn, worrying that giving in to her demands would be a total betrayal of his master. Suddenly, a terrifying roar echoes through the woods, signaling the return of the beast that previously wounded her. A massive nether demon sheep at the peak of the spiritualization stage charges out from the tree line. Our boy reacts instantly, grabbing the elder and diving out of the way as the beast thunders past them. Shaking off her shock, Senior Qinglian prepares to settle the score with the trash-tier monster once and for all. Zhang Yi pulls out the god's brush, hoping his system-granted tool can manifest something to stop the beast. He goes full artist mode, fusing ancient and modern techniques to activate his ultimate painting skill. The result is a glowing, trash-tier doodle he calls Rhubarb the dog. which looks anything but intimidating. As the weird summon flies toward the monster, Senior Qinglian can't help but feel a bit dumbfounded. Predictably, the poor pup gets swatted out of the air like a fly, yipping as it instantly vanishes. Our boy realizes that if his art is garbage, the fighting power is going to be just as pathetic. Not giving up, he decides to keep it simple and paints a massive glowing net instead. This time it actually works, pinning the massive ram to the ground and giving them a real opening. Senior Qinglian praises his quick thinking and unleashes her ripples of Tao to finish the job once and for all. Her mana-infused strike slams directly into the beast's head, finally bringing the rampaging monster to its knees. With the beast finally cooked, Senior Qinglian credits their hard-won victory to Zhang Yi's clutch support. Things get awkward fast when she leans in close, promising to reward our boy for his impressive performance. Zhang Yi starts sweating bullets, desperately trying to keep his Taoist heart from crumbling under her intense gaze. Suddenly, the system drops a high-stakes task, forcing him to write a love poem or face permanent inactivity. He decides to use his literary riz as a distraction, making the elder's heart skip a beat. Senior Qinglian gets competitive, demanding a masterpiece even better than the one he wrote for his actual master. After a frantic brainstorm about lotuses to match her name, our boy finally locks in the perfect prose. He prepares to recite a legendary piece, while she mistakenly thinks he's finally ready to confess his love. As he speaks of the lotus' unblemished purity, the entire forest seems to respond to his divine intent. She is completely mesmerized, feeling deeply moved as he compares her to a flower that shouldn't be profaned. Zhang Yi wraps up his poetic masterpiece, leaving the elder completely smitten by his unexpected literary talent. The system pings with a mission success, rewarding our boy with the divine painting ability for his smooth words. Senior Qinglian is beyond satisfied, lunging at him with a hunger that makes him fear for his life. He desperately tries to keep things professional, reminding himself that his heart belongs solely to his master. She puts him on the spot, demanding to know how she ranks compared to the Cold Moon Swordmaster. When he gives her a measly 5 out of 10, her expression shifts from adoration to pure disbelief. Enraged by the low score, she goes full tiger mode and sinks her teeth right into his shoulder. She slams him into the dirt, vowing that she'll eventually claim his body even if his heart resists. Turning her back, she resolves to make him fall just as hard for her as he did for Yue Yao. As she leaves, Zhang Yi realizes he's accidentally traded one problem for a much more obsessive, high-tier headache. Senior Qinglian claims the inner pill for herself, leaving the massive beast corpse for our boy to handle. She takes off with a final promise to make him submit, leaving Zhang Yi completely dumbfounded. He wonders if his resolve is weakening, feeling a strange sadness as the obsessive elder finally disappears. Returning to the campfire, he presents the massive sheep leg to his starving and impatient companions. The princess immediately detects a strange feminine scent, making him break into a nervous cold sweat. She gets dangerously close, claiming she can smell the stench of a lie on his very breath. He desperately tries to pivot the conversation, suggesting they start roasting the meat before everyone starves. The distraction works like a charm as the girls celebrate their upcoming feast with pure, unadulterated excitement. Chen Yu remains suspicious though, resolving to find his weakness and use it to her advantage later on. Arriving at the sect at dusk, he prays his master doesn't realize just how much trouble he's in. The girls of the sect go absolutely wild the moment they realize our boy has finally returned home safely. While everyone crowds around, he desperately tries to keep them quiet before his master catches wind of their arrival. Too late, as the merciless fairy herself descends, demanding to know why he thinks he can just waltz back. Both siblings look absolutely dumbfounded, realizing their master isn't even trying to hide her murderous intent this time. Meanwhile, the princess is completely starstruck, suddenly deciding that following Yue Yao is way better than following Zhang Yi. She quickly tries to play peacemaker, explaining that our boy only left to help his sister escape a marriage. When asked for her identity, the princess shamelessly fangirls and begs to be taken in as a new disciple. The siblings nearly have a heart attack, certain that being this direct will only make their master even angrier. Yue Yao isn't buying it, declaring that rules were broken and there's no way she's taking in more trouble. With a cold flick of her wrist, she opens her void bag to ensure they don't escape their punishment. Shen Chenyu takes the blame, hoping her desperate plea will soften the merciless fairy's icy heart. Yue Yao remains unmoved, coldly reminding the princess that she hasn't earned the right to call her master. Sticking together in the void bag, our boy reassures his sister that this punishment is actually quite lenient. However, Zhang Yi panics when his system threatens a massive cultivation penalty if the princess isn't recruited soon. As a storm rolls in, the sect is swallowed by a relentless downpour that matches the somber mood. Drenched and shivering, Shen Chenyu refuses to move, her spirit nearly broken by the fear of total failure. Passing disciples note her incredible persistence, but doubt the princess can ever sway their stubborn, high-tier master. Crying in the cold, she wonders if her selfish desire to stay has doomed the siblings she admires. Watching from behind closed doors, Yue Yao sees a familiar spark of willpower that drags up old ghosts. It turns out the legendary master was once a desperate girl kneeling before trash-tier cultivators, begging for a future. Back then, all she had were a few measly coins, and a dream that seemed completely out of reach. Trash-tier cultivators mocked her, stealing her last bit of hope and telling her to quit while she was ahead. Even broken and alone in the rain, she swore to rely only on herself to reach the peak. Years have passed, but the memory of that struggle still burns deep within the legendary master's soul. Seeing the princess out there, she knows only a truly resolute heart deserves a place in her sect. When morning finally breaks, the cold master decides it's time to see if the girl's spirit survived. She demands to know the real reason for joining, testing if this is just about some silly crush. The princess surprises her by declaring she wants to master the great Taoist way for her own sake. Impressed by that fire, the master gives her a simple chore, silently welcoming her into the fold. With that settled, she realizes our boy and his sister are suffocating inside the void bag. Yue Yao peeks inside her void bag only to find the siblings napping together in total bliss. Annoyed by their lack of discipline, she dumps them onto the cold floor with a harsh wake-up call. Our boy is completely lost, while his sister whines about having her sweet dreams interrupted so rudely. The master lays down the law, sentencing the duo to endless sect chores alongside the new princess. Instead of being miserable, the girls are thrilled to start their new life of sweeping floors together. The legendary master stands there dumbfounded, wondering why her supposedly harsh punishment is being met with cheers. While Zhang Yi wallows in his new servant status, the princess works hard as Luoyan just slacks off. Suddenly, a mob of adoring disciples rushes in, desperate to help their favorite senior brother with his labor. The princess starts suspecting our boy is a total player as he struggles to handle all the attention. Watching the chaos from above, the merciless fairy realizes her attempt at discipline has backfired into a party. Yue Yao is fuming, realizing her attempt at discipline accidentally gave our boy a harem of eager helpers. A week later, Zhang Yi is struggling because every female disciple in the sect is fighting to sweep for him. The merciless fairy catches them in the act, making everyone scramble to explain they were just discussing cultivation. She decides to drop the act and tells him about a legendary treasure called the Barbarian King's Blood. Yue Yao orders him to retrieve it within a month while babysitting the princess and his lazy sister. Our boy gets fired up, realizing this bloodline boost is exactly what he needs to reach the next stage. Before he leaves, the master tosses him a high-grade elixir, showing she actually cares about his safety. Zhang Yi teases her about being in love, earning himself a swift threat of being tossed into a dungeon. With their mission set, the trio leaves the safety of the sect and heads toward the dangerous southern lands. Riding on the back of a sleepy divine beast, they finally approach the gates of the rugged barbarian city. Our boy and his crew finally touch down in the rugged and bustling barbarian city. As they walk through the streets, Luoyan immediately complains about the lack of snacks in this demonic place. Zhang Yi notes the city's wild diversity, while the princess just feels lucky to be by his side. Suddenly, two trash-tier winged demons block their path, eyeing our boy like he's a piece of fresh meat. He tries to ignore the crazies and find a restaurant, but these girls don't take rejection well. The duo lunges forward with their weapons, demanding he surrender and become their personal slave. Getting annoyed by the noise, Zhang Yi unleashes a burst of flames to finally clear the path. The impact sends them flying, though they strangely seem to enjoy the sting of his overwhelming power. As the two servants hit the dirt, a much more dangerous presence steps out from the shadows. Turns out, the saintess of the southern demon kingdom, Chen Xiaoqui, was watching the whole show. Our boy recognizes the newcomer as the famous saintess, while the girls worry about another vixen appearing. The trash-tier servants try to play the victim, claiming Zhang Yi tried to take advantage of them. Chen Xiaoqui isn't buying their act, calling them out for offending a lord and then lying about it. She decides their stupidity is a capital offense and wipes them out with a single, terrifying glare. Zhang Yi is dumbfounded by her sight arts, realizing this fox is a high-level spiritualization realm powerhouse. She gets uncomfortably close, suggesting they team up to find the Barbarian King's Blood together. Behind them, the sister princess duo and even the divine beast are absolutely fuming at the blatant seduction. Trying to keep his cool, Zhang Yi tells the fox she needs to pay a price for his help. Suddenly, the system drops a shady mission with a penalty that would turn him into a literal demoness. With no choice but to accept, he agrees to the deal while the saintess continues her playful teasing. Luoyan and Chen Yu finally reach their breaking point, ready to carve up the fox for eyeing their man. Chen Xiaokui just leans into the chaos, playfully vowing to steal our boy's first time right before them. Zhang Yi desperately tries to maintain peace, begging his girls to stay calm while the saintess keeps teasing. The drama is interrupted by a tiger-headed demon who thinks Chen Xiaokui is a total disgrace to demons. Turns out, this trash-tier tiger is just salty, because Zhang Yi is way more handsome than he is. Our boy and his crew are completely dumbfounded, wondering why this random beast is making such a scene. The newcomer introduces himself as Hu Zi, the supposed heartthrob of the demon tiger tribe, while striking poses. Chen Xiaokui isn't impressed at all, telling the tiger to back off and show respect to her partner. Hu Zi is absolutely devastated, feeling a literal arrow through his heart after being called a lowly demon. His lackeys decide to regain their boss's honor by launching a reckless, mana-charged attack on Zhang Yi. Bai Zhe makes quick work of the trash-tier lackeys, sending them flying while they cry for their mothers. Hu Zi is absolutely livid, accusing the little divine beast of murdering his loyal subordinates in cold blood. Losing his mind, the tiger demon screams that he is the boss and won't stand for this disrespect. Chen Xiaokui finally loses her patience and shuts him up with a slap, warning him not to start a war. The big bully turns into a total crybaby, sobbing that even his own father never dared to strike him. Ignoring the drama, the saintess invites our boy to a tavern, making the other girls fume with pure jealousy. While the princess and Luoyan plot to bankrupt the fox girl, Bai Zhe is just hyped for a free meal. Left in the dust, Hu Zi swears that the city isn't big enough for both him and Zhang Yi. Suddenly, a terrifying presence halts the tiger's tantrum as a group of mysterious hooded figures emerges from the shadows. The dragon saint, Long Tianyi, introduces himself and offers a shady alliance to finally take our boy down. Hu Zi is dumbfounded to see the dragon saint himself, asking if he's also after our boy's head. Long Tianyi demands the tiger act as his hound, unleashing pressure that forces the trash-tier bully to kneel. Moving away from the drama, the group finally settles in at the local barbarian business tavern. While the others feast, Luoyan proves she's easily bought, as long as the food is top tier. Our boy takes a drink but feels a sudden, chilling wave of killing intent prickling his skin. Scanning the room, he's stunned to see Yahello sitting just a few tables away. Yahello mocks his rival's slow reaction while plotting to seize the barbarian king's blood for revenge. The spirit Shiji manifests to tease her host about the fated, murderous bond he shares with Zhang Yi. He tells the ghost to stay hidden for safety, though she just laughs at his rare display of concern. The saintess leans in close, her overwhelming charm making Zhang Yi wonder how anyone could possibly resist her. Zhang Yi teases the saintess by comparing her to a legendary temptress, making her wonder if she's just as beautiful. While the little ones focus on their food, the princess is absolutely disgusted by the blatant flirting happening nearby. The peace is shattered when the dragon saint storms in, demanding a challenge while the local trash-tier cultivators flee. Our boy doesn't even look up, claiming he only has time for beauties and has zero interest in horned species. The dragon saint is losing his mind over the disrespect, but Zhang Yi just picks his ear like it's nothing. From the shadows, Shiji asks her host if Hell watched the show, but he's already planning his assassination. Zhang Yi suggests the dragon should handle a real threat like Yahello first before bothering a busy man. Hearing that name sends the dragon saint into a blind rage, recalling how that cruel monster once humiliated his kin. Before anyone can react, Zhang Yi points out his rival's hiding spot, causing the poor guy to choke on his drink. Yahello is fuming, realizing our boy just pulled a fast one to drag him into this messy dragon conflict. Long Tianyi lunges forward, determined to verify his target's identity through the cold language of violence. Yahello's shadow flickers as he narrowly evades the strike, clearly annoyed by the sudden, unwanted interruption. Sensing a surge of terrifying blood chi, the dragon realizes he finally has the real monster in his sights. Unfortunately, a stray shockwave catches the trash-tier tiger demon, sending his soul straight to the afterlife. The two powerhouses collide in a burst of mana, with the dragon saint roaring about settled racial grudges. Our boy just kicks back with his group, amused that his little scheme worked out so perfectly. Xieji whispers poison into her host's ear, warning him that Zhang Yi is just waiting for him to weaken. Realizing he's backed into a corner, Yahello finally activates his double pupil to even the playing field. He unleashes a massive blood explosion art, caring little for the collateral damage as red energy consumes the room. Zhang Yi quickly manifests a golden barrier, annoyed that his rival is reckless enough to use such messy techniques. Yahello flees the scene with his spirit companion, swearing that their next meeting will be Zhang Yi's last. Sheiji wonders if our boy survived the blast, secretly hoping for a more intimate encounter in the future. Safe behind his barrier, Zhang Yi is swarmed by his grateful companions who admire his perfect sense of security. The Dragon Saint tries to regroup while being hassled by trash-tier lackeys, insisting he is still very much alive. Long Tianyi attempts a tactical retreat to hunt his rival, but Zhang Yi isn't about to let him leave. Our boy suddenly smashes the dragon in the face with a brick, demanding he leave some treasures behind first. The mighty Dragon Saint hits the dirt face first, completely dumbfounded by the sheer disrespect of the sneak attack. Zhang Yi and the girls loom over their fallen foe, eager to see what kind of loot a dragon carries. A cloud of chaos erupts as they strip the dragon of his goods, leaving the Saintess questioning their morality. Turns out Chen Xiaokui isn't one to miss out on the fun, and begs to join the looting party. Long Tianyi is left sobbing, begging them to stop because he's literally got nothing left to give. Our boy and the crew celebrate their haul, showing off everything from dragon blood to rare medicinal scales. The Dragon Saint tries to reclaim his pride by swearing vengeance, but he's just barking at the wind. Suddenly, his dignity takes another hit as his pants slide right off, leaving him completely exposed. The dragon's legendary reputation vanishes instantly as the crowd laughs at his pathetic, tiny display of manhood. Leaving the humiliation behind, the group finally reaches the eerie and desolate barbarians' forbidden land. Instead of a bustling landmark, they find a graveyard of cultivators who clearly met a gruesome end. Ever the opportunist, Zhang Yi starts looting the dead, claiming they won't need their gear in the afterlife. The girls quickly follow suit, stripping the corpses of gold and treasures while the Saintess watches in horror. Chen Xiaokui is utterly speechless, realizing she's teamed up with a pack of ruthless, treasure-hungry savages. Chen Xiaokui realizes the graveyard is waking up, as the restless dead begin to crawl from the earth. Our boy Zhang Yi isn't leaving empty-handed, shouting for everyone to haul tail while he grips the loot. Spotting a nearby audience hall, the group decides to dive inside to escape the growing horde of zombies. Zhang Yi and Luoyan kick the doors down, but the safety they expected is nowhere to be found. Inside, they find armored vampires standing over piles of gold, likely the ones who poisoned the previous explorers. The girls are absolutely dumbfounded and terrified, realizing they've accidentally traded a graveyard for a literal monster's nest. Zhang Yi remains unfazed, sensing these trash-tier bloodsuckers are only at the golden core level. Chen Xiaokui doesn't hesitate, unleashing her fox-tail binding arts to pin the monsters down in an instant. Our boy steps up next, channeling his shadow swordsmanship to finish what the Saintess started. He carves through the undead with ease, making it clear that he's the real monster in this room. Zhang Yi sheathes his blade, and even the Saintess is shaken by how perfectly he handled those trash-tier vampires. A swirling portal suddenly manifests, which our boy identifies as the gateway to the Forbidden Land's hidden treasure house. He decides to scout ahead with the Saintess, ordering the others to hold the line while they dive in. Just as they leave, a horde of relentless zombies catches up, leaving the girls in a tight spot. Refusing to be a burden, the princess and Luoyan decide it's time to show off their own combat skills. The princess channels her royal authority to summon a legendary divine beast that's supposed to tear through anything. Instead of a ferocious tiger, a tiny, adorable kitten pops out, making the others wonder if she's joking. Luoyan isn't worried, and decides to use her enlargement technique to give the little furball a massive power boost. The technique works perfectly, turning the small kitty into a giant beast that towers over the entire room. With a new secret weapon, the princess commands her oversized pet to treat the approaching zombies like chew toys. The giant furball starts flattening the undead like they are nothing but annoying bugs under its paws. The princess and Luoyan treat the whole life-or-death struggle like a fun game of fetch with snacks. Meanwhile, our boy and the Saintess finally reach the portal, leading straight into the hidden treasury. Zhang Yi senses a heavy, murderous aura and tells Xiaokui to stay sharp while they investigate. They stumble upon a massive throne, where a skeletal figure sits, radiating pure, ancient malice. Turns out this is the Barbarian King, and he is definitely not happy about his nap being interrupted. The undead tyrant roars that anyone trespassing in his tomb is basically begging for a painful death. Xiaokui warns that he is a nascent soul powerhouse, but Zhang Yi is already eyeing that precious blood. The king summons his own trash-tier skeleton army to swarm the intruders and tear them apart. Our boy just smirks, ready to show this old fossil what a real summoning master can do. Zhang Yi unleashes his own army of golden stickmen, betting on sheer numbers to overwhelm the undead guards. The chaotic brawl begins as the stickmen clash with the skeletons in a whirlwind of dust and bone. Chen Xiaokui is stunned by the tactic, but our boy explains that ganging up is his master's favorite lesson. The Barbarian King isn't impressed and swings his massive, soul-reaping axe to incinerate everything in his path. Realizing they can't tank the hit, the duo splits up to distract the giant fossil and find an opening. While dancing around the flames, Zhang Yi begins weaving a binding spell to lock the king in place. The golden chains snap shut, and our boy signals the Saintess to deliver a devastating follow-up strike. Chen Xiaoqui lunges forward with a heavy blow, leaving the king cursing their despicable but effective teamwork. Zhang Yi doesn't stop there, channeling his mana into a flying sword to end this fight for good. The blade pierces the king's chest, leaving the ancient ruler wishing he had stayed buried for another century. Zhang Yi finally secures the barbarian king's blood, the very prize he ventured into this tomb for. He realizes the blood was the king's core, and without it, the ancient ruler simply turns to dust. Meanwhile, Chen Xiaoqui finds the nine-tailed holy jade, returning a stolen treasure to her fox demon kin. Our boy gets a system notification, rewarding him with mana and 2 bizarre new S-level skills for his trouble. Suddenly, a portal rips open as 2 uninvited guests decide to play the role of the opportunistic Oriole. Ye Haoran and Long Tianyi emerge, demanding the blood, while thanking the dragon's teleportation for the easy ride. Zhang Yi grits his teeth, knowing he is low on mana, and cannot easily take on these trash-tier villains. Turns out their brotherhood is a total sham, with both plotting to backstab the other for the prize. Thinking fast, our boy decides to test his new summoning spirit bomb on the pair of fake brothers. Long Tianyi is dumbfounded when Ye Haoran grabs him to use as a shield against the incoming blast. Ye Haoran shoves the dragon saint into the blast, proving he is a snake through and through. He smirks as his meat shield takes the hit, thinking the dragon finally served a useful purpose. Our boy just laughs and activates his new skill, telling the villain it is time to become a beast. Lightning surges through the traitor while his spirit companion watches him get absolutely cooked by the spell. Poof! The great genius is suddenly a tiny black dog, wondering what kind of evil sorcery this is. Zhang Yi and the Saintess cannot help but mock the trash-tier villain now that he is a mutt. The humiliated dog genius bolts for his life, while the group treats the whole chase like a fun game. But the mutt is not done yet, tapping into his double pupil power to force an early transformation break. With a massive burst of blood-red energy, he shatters the seal and swears he will have his revenge. Our boy quickly scoops up the Saintess, narrowly dodging a lethal strike from the vengeful, reborn villain. Xieji watches Zhang Yi protect the Saintess and feels a sudden, burning sting of jealousy. The tomb begins to crumble around them, forcing our boy to keep a tight grip on the Saintess. The trash-tier traitor realizes the place is coming down and vows to reclaim the king's blood later. Zhang Yi smirks and reveals the Qiangkun bag his master lent him, ready to end this chase. The divine artifact activates, unexpectedly snatching the malevolent spirit right out of the air. Our boy is dumbfounded when he realizes he bagged the weird spirit instead of the traitor. With the ceiling falling, he grabs the Saintess's hand and sprints toward the exit. The traitor screams in agony as massive boulders finally pin him down in the dark. They leap through the portal just in time, reuniting with the princess and the rest of the crew. A massive explosion rocks the Forbidden Land as the ancient tomb finally collapses into dust. Our boy stands amidst the ruins of the Forbidden Land, relieved they secured the loot before the tomb collapsed. He checks the Qiangkun bag and finds the malevolent spirit trapped inside, looking surprisingly small and pathetic now. The whole crew crowds around to inspect the soul body, realizing she was the traitor's secret guardian spirit. She tries to play the victim, claiming she's just an innocent soul and begging him to let her go. Zhang Yi isn't buying the act, knowing she's far too valuable for extracting intel on his trash-tier rival. He ignores her complaints about being handled roughly and forces her back into the depths of the bag. The Fox Saintess teases him, questioning if he's just collecting beauties for his personal harem at this point. He gets flustered as she jokes about his supposed ghost fetish, insisting they leave before more enemies show up. Before they part ways, the Saintess pouts and asks for his finger to leave a lasting memory of her. Zhang Yi laughs at her childish request, though he suspects the demon Saintess might actually have a crush. Chen Xiaoqui bites his finger with a blush, determined to leave a mark he will remember forever. Our boy is completely dumbfounded, asking if she's actually a dog for using such a weird way to stay relevant. His sister just sighs at the perverted display, while the others wonder if they even belong in this group. As she takes to the sky, the demon Saintess looks back with a gaze full of genuine, lingering attachment. He waves her off with a grin, promising they'll cross paths again as his harem-building reputation grows. Returning to the sect the next day, he's greeted by a massive, cheering crowd of enthusiastic female disciples. His sister is visibly annoyed by the short skirts and the suspicious cheerleading squad welcoming her brother home. The princess quickly starts bribing the crowd with treasures, proving she knows exactly how to buy people's loyalty. Just as things settle down, a massive portal tears through the sky with a voice demanding his head. The Dragon Saint's father has arrived in a rage, holding his battered son and demanding justice for the humiliation. Long Bashan storms in with his son's body, while our boy mocks Ye Haoran for being a persistent cockroach. Zhang Yi stands his ground, calling out the pathetic attempt to frame him for the Dragon Saint's demise. The The dragon elder is blinded by grief, demanding our boy pay in blood for the evidence he brought back. Before the dragon can strike, Yue Yao descends like a cold goddess to protect her most precious disciple. She unleashes a blinding sword strike, making it clear that no dragon reptile will bully her people today. Long Beishan is fuming, while Ye Haoran secretly hopes this chaos leads to the sect's total destruction. Our boy calmly stops his master, assuring her that the truth will easily clear his name. He reveals a memory stone he prepared, ready to show everyone how Ye Haoran used the dragon as a shield. Smirking, he mentions the captured spirit in his bag, watching as Ye Haoran realizes his trash tier plan just failed. Trapped inside the bag, Xieji starts feeling sentimental, wondering if Ye Haoran ever actually cared for her. Ye Haoran and Zhang Yi are both caught off guard by the sudden emotional weight shifting the atmosphere. The traitor looks genuinely pained, realizing the Blood Princess still holds a massive place in his twisted heart. He remembers 6 years ago when she was just a mysterious spirit, following a lowly woodcutter like him. Back then, he was just a weakling, struggling with chores while she mocked his pathetic lack of strength. She offered to heal his wounds and promised to turn a nobody into a powerful senior brother. Snapping back to reality, Ye Haoran erupts with emotion, determined to prove his loyalty to his captured partner. He lunges forward, swearing she has always been the best sister to him despite his trash tier actions. Xieji is left dazed, finally acknowledging their sibling bond while her heart wavers toward our boy instead. Zhang Yi and the girls are fuming as that trash tier traitor Ye Haoran makes a getaway with the precious bag. Yue Yao is absolutely livid that our boy is using her protective gift to collect a literal harem of women. Meanwhile, Long Baixin is convinced the traitor murdered his son and vows that the little bastard won't escape justice. The dragon leader nearly jumps out of his skin when his supposedly dead son suddenly coughs back to life. Long Tianyi explains he used a fake death technique after Ye Haoran tried to screw him over during the fight. Our boy realizes these dragons are walking moneybags and demands heavy compensation for the mental trauma they caused him. Long Baixin tries to act tough, claiming he'll just walk out of the sect in broad daylight without paying. Yue Yao quickly shuts that down with her blade, suggesting they discuss morality while her sword is at his throat. The whole squad closes in like a pack of wolves, leaving the terrified dragons with no choice but to pay. The dragons are absolutely dumbfounded when they realize our boy is even stripping the clothes off their backs. Long Tianyi weeps over his lost dignity, while his old man tries to justify their pathetic retreat. Zhang Yi and the girls celebrate their massive haul, making Yue Yao wonder if she's corrupted her disciples. The humiliated dragons flee in their underwear, swearing revenge while our boy cheerfully invites them back for more. Once the trash is cleared, Yue Yao urges him to refine the barbarian king's blood for his next breakthrough. She then tells him to visit her chambers tonight so she can personally guide his cultivation process. Our boy's mind immediately goes to the gutter, hyped to perform his absolute best for his beautiful master. Meanwhile, the moon rises over the heavenly sect, where a far more sinister plot is beginning to unfold. Ye Haoran sneaks through the grounds, insisting to his spirit companion that he's playing a much bigger game. Xieji pouts, suspecting his daytime heroics were just a calculated move rather than any genuine concern for her. Ye Haoran enters the inner sanctum, his face a mask of cold determination for the betrayal ahead. He finds Zhou waiting, the master's presence heavy with the weight of the sect's expectations. Zhou immediately explodes in rage, calling him a trash-tier disappointment for failing to secure the blood. Our boy plays the humble disciple, claiming he actually secured the prize specifically to gift his master. The greedy old man's tone shifts instantly, already imagining how the blood will help him survive his tribulation. Seeing no spiritual energy from the box, Zhou lets his guard down, completely dumbfounded by the trap. Suddenly, Ye Haoran's expression turns demonic, as he reveals a hidden blade instead of the expected treasure. The blade sinks deep, and Zhou coughs up blood, realizing his prize was actually a death sentence. Turns out, he was stabbed with his own sealing blade, a gift now used to suppress his cultivation. Ye Haoran unleashes his true power, mocking the master, who only knows how to leech off others' hard work. Zhou screams as the sealing energy tears through him, completely helpless against the betrayal. Ye Haoran laughs maniacally, while Xieji praises him for finally successfully controlling the old man's mind. With his master as a puppet, Ye Haoran plans to dominate the entire sect and force everyone to submit. Meanwhile, Zhang Yi arrives at the quiet Yueying Peak under the moonlight, wondering why he was summoned so late. He figures the secluded atmosphere is perfect for a long, private heart-to-heart with his beautiful master. Yue Yao is already waiting on a branch, coldly warning him that being late deserves a proper punishment. Our boy immediately switches to his trash-tier acting, begging for mercy and trying to charm his way out. When she suddenly leaps down, Zhang Yi gets flustered, thinking things are about to get way too direct. Turns out his mind was in the gutter, as she just wants him to sit and refine the loot. She explains the moon's yin energy is vital to neutralize the barbarian king's overwhelming yang energy during cultivation. Yue Yao prepares the formation, determined to help her disciple gather the necessary lunar energy for his refinement. She activates the Taiyin attraction formation, surrounding our boy in a massive pillar of cooling, celestial light. Zhang Yi feels the surrounding yin energy surging into him, perfectly balancing the heat of the divine blood. While his master watches closely, he realizes that cultivating is a total breeze with her expert guidance. The raw power of the barbarian king merges with his core, causing his overall strength to skyrocket instantly. With a sharp crack, the blood essence shatters as its last drop of power is finally consumed. Now, at the peak of the spirit transformation stage, our boy decides to use some trash tier acting. He suddenly fakes a demonic backlash and collapses, sending his master into a total state of panic. Yue Yao catches him, fearing the sudden influx of energy was too much for his body to handle. As she carries him away for treatment, Zhang Yi celebrates his victory, knowing he's hers for the night. Night falls over the sect as Yue Yao brings our boy back to her private quarters for recovery. Zhang Yi enjoys the sweet scent of her room, thinking his trash tier acting has finally paid off. However, the merciless fairy notices his bloodline is perfectly stable, and realizes he is playing her for a fool. Her eyes narrow with a cold glint, as she decides it is high time this naughty disciple learned a lesson. She casually steps right on his hand, leaving him dumbfounded and struggling not to scream in actual agony. Since he wants to play dead, she decides he can spend the entire night reflecting on the cold floor. She climbs into her comfortable bed, leaving our boy to rot on the tiles while she drifts off. Zhang Yi lies there panicking, wondering if she is actually onto him or just testing his resolve. Morning light hits the palace, and our boy wakes up feeling like his head was hit by a hammer. He curses his own cowardice for not acting, though he knows she would probably beat him to death anyway. Yue Yao remains fast asleep, looking completely defenseless and ethereal as the morning light fills the room. Our boy can't help but stare, finding her sleeping posture way too provoking for his own good. Suddenly, the merciless fairy stirs, her sharp eyes snapping open as she senses his lingering gaze. She mockingly asks if the floor felt good, proving she knew about his little trick all along. Zhang Yi immediately drops to his knees, begging for forgiveness after getting totally played by his master. She notes it is strange he hasn't reached the nascent soul realm yet, despite the barbarian king's blood. Then she starts listing his crimes, from his constant womanizing to losing the precious Qiankun bag yesterday. Our boy realizes her plans run deep, suspecting she let the bag go just to separate him from others. She gives him an ultimatum, demanding a proper apology or he will face an eternity in the prison. Terrified, he swears to avoid debauchery and hunt down the traitor to reclaim their stolen treasure. Yue Yao scoffs at his hollow promises, demanding he make the Sky Sect pay tenfold for their audacity. Our boy realizes his master is actually more ruthless than him, providing the perfect excuse for a raid. She praises his spirit and reminds him to stay calm, while using every advantage to crush their foes. Suddenly, the princess bursts in with dire news that the Sky Sect is currently sieging the mountain gate. She freezes in shock, her mind racing with scandalous thoughts after finding him in the master's private bedroom. Yue Yao remains unfazed, declaring it is the perfect time to wipe those trash-tier invaders off the map. Down at the gate, the sect's disciples charge forward to meet the massive wave of brainwashed attackers head-on. The Guardian Elders notice the enemies are fueled by demonic aura, forcing them to unleash their full power. Little Bai Zhe takes command, effortlessly guiding the Lady Cultivators into a deadly sword formation to repel them. With a massive burst of energy, the Dao Sect defenders send the invaders flying, reclaiming their home's peace. The sect's ladies and Little Bai Zhe absolutely lose it when they see their legendary protectors finally arrive. Yue Yao surveys the trash-tier invaders, noting they are all fueled by Ye Haoran's disgusting demonic blood aura. Suddenly, a massive crimson vortex tears through the sky, signaling the arrival of a truly heavy hitter. Zhou Di emerges from the chaos, his eyes glowing with a mindless rage that screams total demonic possession. Our boy is dumbfounded that Ye Haoran actually managed to puppet a master-level powerhouse like the Heavenly Sect leader. Just as the tension peaks, the provocative senior Qing Lian makes a grand entrance through a shimmering spatial portal. Zhang Yi can't help but blush, feeling the heat, as this chaotic beauty focuses all her attention on him. Yue Yao isn't having it, immediately trading insults with her rival, while the possessed Zhou Di looms nearby. Refusing any help from her gremlin rival, the sect leader lunges forward to handle the brainwashed maniac alone. With the master busy, Qing Lian seizes the chance to get cozy with Zhang Yi and suggest a little elopement. Yue Yao is absolutely fuming, realizing the purple-haired gremlin isn't here to help but to kidnap her precious disciple. Senior Qinglian just laughs it off, snatching our boy and bolting through the sky while Yue Yao chases them. While they soar, the chaotic beauty promises Zhang Yi a very special reward if he follows her lead. Zhang Yi can't help but smirk, knowing that with a powerhouse like her, the Sky Sect is basically toast. Meanwhile, at the Sky Sect headquarters, the traitor Yahello is busy celebrating his new title as master. He tells his spirit companion that he doesn't care how many lives are lost, as long as Zhang Yi suffers. The arrogant brat even demands she stop hiding, wanting the world to see her as his top-tier counselor. He brags about his impenetrable defenses, claiming not even a tiny ant could sneak past his watchful eyes. Suddenly, a panicked disciple bursts in with news that Zhang Yi and an old gremlin are raiding the treasury. Ye Haoran is completely dumbfounded, realizing his perfect plan is falling apart before it even truly began. The Sky Sect treasury is a total mess, with our boy leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. Senior Qinglian wonders why they are looting instead of killing, but Zhang Yi is busy filling his system storage. The chaotic beauty quickly changes her tune, deciding these riches will make a perfect reward for her favorite disciple. Their shopping spree is interrupted when the traitor Ye Haoran and his ghostly companion finally show their faces. A wild system mission appears, threatening Zhang Yi with a punishment that he honestly considers a total win. Senior Qinglian steps up, daring the trash-tier villain to even try touching a single hair on Zhang Yi's head. Not one to play fair, Ye Haoran summons the sect's 4 grand elders to even the playing field. Senior Qinglian dives headfirst into the fray, leaving the red-eyed freak for our boy to handle personally. Ye Haoran starts monologuing about his near-nascent soul power, thinking he is finally the main character of this story. Zhang Yi doesn't wait for the speech to finish, delivering a brutal kick because real warriors don't lag. Ye Haoran clutches his gut in pain, calling our boy a despicable coward for his dirty fighting style. Zhang Yi just scoffs and lands another blow, reminding the traitor that results are all that matter. The trash-tier villain tries to retaliate with a desperate swing, while his ghostly counselor watches the chaos. CG is honestly unimpressed, sighing at how these two have devolved into a basic street brawl. Meanwhile, Senior Qinglian is busy holding off the old coots, hoping Zhang Yi can survive the encounter. Realizing the indoor space is too cramped, Zhang Yi taunts the red-eyed freak to take the fight outside. Blinded by rage, Ye Haoran charges forward despite the spirit's warnings that this might be a setup. Our boy leads the chase out of the temple, moving with the speed of a true predator. They tear through the forest at high speeds, with the villain gaining ground and smelling of victory. Turns out, it was all a trap, as Zhang Yi smirks and prepares to detonate his hidden bombs. Ye Haoran realizes too late that he's walked right into a lethal trap set by our boy. A massive blast of mana erupts, proving Zhang Yi is always 3 steps ahead of this trash-tier villain. Even the ghostly CG is left dumbfounded, shielding her eyes from the blinding force of the explosion. Battered and bleeding, Ye Haoran can only seethe in rage as he realizes he was played like a fiddle. Zhang Yi looks down with total indifference, telling the loser that his own stupidity is his only downfall. The villain begs his spirit counselor to strike, but she admits she can't bring herself to hurt Zhang Yi. Our boy demands the bag, threatening to leave the trash-tier villain with no corpse if he refuses to cooperate. Fearing for her host's life, Shiji tosses the golden bag over, hoping to end the one-sided slaughter. The system suddenly judges the mission a failure because the spirit handed the loot over without a real fight. Our boy realizes the punishment involves his gorgeous masters and decides this failure is actually a total win. Senior Qinglian suddenly loses her mind as the system's insanity state triggers a terrifyingly obsessive personality shift. She blasts through the trash-tier guards like a pink hurricane, desperate to reach her beloved nephew at any cost. Our boy and the villains are left dumbfounded as a chaotic spiral of mana descends upon the battlefield. Qinglian lands with a predatory grin, declaring that Zhang Yi belongs to her, and they should elope immediately. Zhang Yi is absolutely terrified, pleading with the crazed elder to focus on the actual enemy for once. Before he can move, she tackles him into the dirt, pinning him down with her sudden, overwhelming affection. Seeing the absolute circus unfolding, Ye Haoran and his spirit counselor take the chance to flee for their lives. Our boy realizes the system's punishment is far worse than death as the insane elder looms over him triumphantly. She finds his panicked screams incredibly exciting, enjoying his struggle more than any actual cultivation battle. The elder decides to try a gentler approach, lifting his chin while Zhang Yi wonders what perverted hell he's entered. Senior Qinglian pins our boy down, demanding he just listen to her whims, while he remains completely dumbfounded. She plants a kiss on his cheek, making him realize that this crazy elder is actually serious about him. Suddenly, she sinks her teeth into him, causing Zhang Yi to scream about her weird habit of biting people. Her eyes glaze over with madness as she prepares to take a much bigger bite out of her prey. Realizing his dignity is at stake, our boy finally snaps and kicks the perverted elder away with all his might. He bolts for his life while the obsessed woman chases him, her eyes glowing with a terrifying predatory hunger. Meanwhile, the battlefield at the sect is pure chaos as disciples clash amidst a storm of powerful cultivation techniques. Yue Yao dominates the sky, cold as ice as she tells the sect leader he's no match for her. She sends the villain crashing into the dirt, much to the delight of the girls cheering for their master. As his demonic aura fades, the defeated leader pathetically claims he was just a puppet for his traitorous disciple. Yue Yao demands the trash tier leader pay for his crimes while he pathetically begs for his life. Suddenly, a familiar scream echoes from the sky as our boy falls right into the middle of the confrontation. Zhang Yi lands squarely on the defeated leader, dumbfounded that he actually survived such a reckless escape. The predatory senior Qinglian catches up, her heart-shaped pupils glowing with a terrifying obsession for her runaway prize. Yue Yao isn't having it and immediately lunges at the gremlin to keep her disciple safe. The obsessed elder effortlessly flips through the air, mocking the merciless fairy's attempt to stop her. Two of the strongest cultivators face off, their clashing auras turning the sect grounds into a furnace. Meanwhile, the girls treat the life-or-death struggle like a sports match, much to our boy's disbelief. Senior Qinglian lashes out with her weapon, determined to prove she's the one who truly deserves Zhang Yi. A massive explosion rocks the area as the crazy elder boasts about her perfect record against Yue Yao. Senior Qinglian cheekily asks the old lady to share our boy for some fun, making him absolutely furious. Yue Yao snaps back, calling her a mad dog, and insisting she is only protecting her precious disciple. Fed up, the sect leader summons the Moonshadow Sword formation to finally teach this obsessed elder a lesson. The elder just laughs it off, using her own technique to swat away the spectral blades like nothing. Their weapons collide in a shower of sparks as they prepare to fight until one of them drops. While they scrap, the group realizes this isn't just about Zhang Yi, but a long-standing, bitter rivalry. Suddenly, the system's punishment finally wears off, and the fog of madness clears from the elder's eyes. Senior Qinglian realizes she was puppeted by a mental spell, much to our boy's absolute relief. Yue Yao isn't buying the act, calling her a shameless witch who has never been normal a day. Seeing no way out, the elder decides to stop hiding and just come clean about her true intentions. Senior Qinglian suddenly screams her love for Zhang Yi, leaving everyone absolutely dumbfounded by her sudden, shameless confession. She gets uncomfortably close to our boy, taunting the sect leader about whether she has the guts to be intimate. Yue Yao erupts in a chilling blue aura, demanding to know if this witch thinks her sect is some playground. Realizing she has pushed enough buttons, the elder vanishes into a portal while laughing about their next inevitable encounter. Zhang Yi tries to play peacemaker, though he secretly fears his master might vent her lingering rage on him. The focus shifts to the trash tier Zhou Di, who is currently being treated like a literal footstool by the girls. Still fuming from the earlier encounter, Yue Yao decides a quick execution is the only proper way to end this. The pathetic sect leader begs for mercy, promising to betray his own disciple just to keep his head attached. She sends him flying with a strike, agreeing to spare him only if he pays a massive tribute in treasures. Spitting blood, Zhou Di swallows his pride and vows to endure this humiliation until he can finally get his revenge. Zhang Yi stops Zhou Di from leaving, looking like a total menace as he demands a toll. Our boy goes full bandit mode, making it clear that every single treasure on the loser's body stays behind. A stick of incense later, the trash tier sect leader is left shivering in his boxers, weeping over his ruin. Zhang Yi literally kicks him out of the sect, claiming this daylight robbery is just a gentleman's honest profit. The girls are absolutely dumbfounded by the haul, already planning how to spend the mountain of elixirs and talismans. Zhou Di flees into the sky, cursing their ancestors while wishing he never crossed paths with these lunatics. Zhang Yi quickly pivots the conversation, hoping his master won't realize he's the one who started this mess. Yue Yao ignores the loot, her mind already focused on the terrifying heavenly tribulation coming in a month. She reveals her past failure and her plan to finally conquer the lightning that nearly killed her before. Our boy feels a pang of selfishness, dreading the day his master succeeds and leaves him behind forever. The girls in Baize start sobbing, desperately begging their master to stay in the mortal realm with them. Yue Yao solemnly explains that once a cultivator reaches the peak, the heavenly Tao finds them completely unacceptable. She describes how the lucky few succeed in their tribulation and ascend to the legendary, unknown immortal realm. However, most fail miserably, their entire lives turning to nothing as they perish within the cold, unforgiving void. Then there are those who resist the heavenly thunder, lingering in the mortal realm for centuries in a struggle. Our boy feels a heavy weight in his chest, realizing he truly can't bear to be separated from her. Suddenly, a disciple interrupts the heavy mood, announcing that a messenger pigeon has arrived with a letter for him. He takes the scroll, wondering which trash-tier enemy or old friend would be sending him mail right now. Turns out it's an invitation from Chen Xiaokui, the fox saintess who wants him to visit her demon country. The girls immediately lose it, calling her a seductive fox, while our boy prays his master doesn't kill him. Yue Yao notes his talent for attracting saintesses, while our boy desperately tries to explain it was just business. She gives him the green light, but orders him to play spy against the demon race during his visit. Before leaving, the sect leader announces she's entering seclusion to prepare for her upcoming heavenly calamity. Our boy wants to confess his devotion, but keeps quiet knowing he'd just get a beating for being cheesy. She senses his weird thoughts but can't help noticing that her disciple has finally grown a bit more mature. He vows to become strong enough to protect her, and she surprisingly offers him her rare, genuine trust. Suddenly, his trash-tier system forces a mission to turn the fox saintess into a servant, or he'll become a girl. The next morning, he flies off on a sleepy divine beast, while the entire sect cheers for his safe journey. He waves goodbye to his junior sisters, finally setting off toward the mysterious lands of Green Hill. Meanwhile, his sister and the princess are absolutely fuming, ready to hunt him down for leaving them behind. Yue Yao watches him vanish, hoping he gains something while she focuses on surviving her upcoming heavenly tribulation. While our boy flies across the wilderness, his sister and the princess are still back home absolutely fuming. They finally reach the southern demon country where the air is fresh, but the silence feels incredibly eerie. He senses a strange demonic energy in the air, realizing the local fox demons are likely hiding nearby. Suddenly, several pairs of glowing red eyes emerge from the shadows, watching their every move with intense hostility. A group of fox warriors charges out with spears, ready to skew the intruders for trespassing on Green Hill. Our boy is momentarily stunned by the sheer number of beauties, but vows not to let them distract him. Once they recognize him as the saintess's guest, their aggression instantly melts into pure, obsessive adoration for him. He introduces himself politely, though he secretly laments that his top-tier looks are always causing him such trouble. The girls surround him with a predatory vibe, leaving him and his mount shivering at their sudden intensity. Zhang Yi is absolutely swamped by a sea of thirsty fox demons who think he's the ultimate prize. Even poor Bai Zhe gets caught in the crossfire, being squeezed like a plushie by the over-enthusiastic guards. Suddenly, Chen Xiaokui arrives and shuts the party down, reminding everyone that our boy isn't a toy. The guards immediately drop to their knees in fear, as the saintess asserts her absolute authority. She invites him to meet their clan ancestor, acting like the perfect guide while hiding her true intentions. When she grabs his hand, Zhang Yi realizes he just traded a group of mobs for a boss-level threat. The other girls watch in pure envy as the saintess shamelessly drags her prize away for herself. Our boy tries to stay loyal to his master, but his face turns beet red under her gaze. She isn't taking no for an answer, using every trick in the book to test his legendary willpower. He's left completely dumbfounded when she forces his hand close, demanding a spot in his crowded heart. Zhang Yi is reaching his limit, feeling like this fox saintess is playing way too many games with him. She finally promises to stop the teasing, but our boy knows better than to trust a demon's word. They arrive at the Green Hill Guest Pavilion, a massive structure where the real power players reside. There, the Fox Clan chief greets them, and she's every bit as dangerous and stunning as the legends say. Zhang Yi plays it cool, offering a respectful greeting while trying not to get distracted by her overwhelming presence. She suddenly tosses him a bottle of golden scale pills, a treasure that would make any trash-tier cultivator drool. He catches it but remains suspicious, wondering what kind of strings are attached to such a rare gift. Turns out, she wants him to represent the Fox Clan at an upcoming conference for the demonic nations. Our boy starts weighing his options, thinking this might be the perfect chance to scout the enemy's true strength. When she mentions the legendary Millennium Thunderwood as a prize, Zhang Yi realizes he can't possibly turn this down. Zhang Yi accepts the deal, thinking the Millennium Thunderwood is the perfect gift for his master's upcoming tribulation. The fox ancestor is so thrilled she practically tackles him, leaving Chen Xiaokui fuming at her leader's behavior. Our boy tries to maintain boundaries while secretly plotting to complete a system task involving the pink-haired saintess. Suddenly, the ancestor suggests a betrothal instead, claiming a marriage bond is the only way to truly connect. This sends Chen Xiaokui into a jealous rage, while Zhang Yi just stands there, completely overwhelmed by the chaos. He quickly counters by suggesting the saintess become his handmaiden, a move that catches the elder fox off guard. To his surprise, the ancestor loves the idea, realizing it gives her the perfect excuse to stay close. The system chimes in with rewards, granting him a legendary kneel technique just for getting a verbal agreement. With the deal sealed, the ancestor sighs in defeat as the saintess happily clings to her new master. As night falls over Green Hill, the stage is set for a conference that will change everything. The fox servants lead Zhang Yi to his quarters, promising him a night of absolute comfort and rest. While he asks about his companion, poor Bai Zhe is getting tied up and interrogated by the local girls. Our boy breathes a sigh of relief, thinking he can finally get some sleep after all the chaos. His peace is short-lived when he enters the room and finds a shadowy figure lurking on his bed. The saintess claims that as his new handmaiden, she needs to learn every way to serve him properly. Elsewhere, the firefox ancestor is losing her mind with envy, realizing she wants a piece of the action. She decides to crash the party herself, playfully demanding that Zhang Yi just give in to her charms. Suddenly, the local clan members knock on the door, threatening to walk in on the most awkward situation. Both of them freeze in terror, knowing that a scandal like this would ruin the ancestor's legendary reputation. With no other options, the elder fox dives under the blankets to hide before the door swings open. Under the bed, Chen Xiaokui is stunned to find her own ancestor already hiding in the shadows. Meanwhile, a mob of thirsty fox servants storms the room, begging to serve our boy tonight. These trash-tier disciples have no shame, practically fighting over who gets to punish him first. Before he can even protest, the girls swarm him, turning the room into a chaotic den of sin. Seeing the competition, the two hidden foxes realize they simply cannot sit back and watch anymore. They burst out from their hiding spot, screaming for the others to keep their hands off him. The sudden explosion of power leaves Zhang Yi flat on his back while the servants stand dumbfounded. The firefox ancestor makes up a lame excuse about checking the hospitality to cover her tracks. The servants aren't buying it, whispering that their leader is clearly just here to flirt with him. To make matters worse, she declares they're all sleeping here tonight, leaving our boy completely speechless. Our boy tries desperately to maintain his focus, while the fox girls plot to pounce the second he sleeps. The night turns into a literal nightmare as Zhang Yi feels his very essence being nibbled away by the group. Fast forward one day later, and the Grand Dao discussion conference is finally ready to begin under the sun. The demon capital is buzzing with energy, as cultivators from every corner of the southern realm gather for the event. Zhang Yi reflects on the chaotic few days he spent being tossed around by these thirsty fox beauties. The local trash-tier demons are completely dumbfounded to see a human man walking among the elite fox clan. Suddenly, a blinding explosion of golden light signals the arrival of the realm's ultimate powerhouse, the Great Rock King. The entire crowd falls to their knees in worship as the country's lord descends with overwhelming pressure. The Great Rock King commands his subjects to rise, his presence alone making the air feel heavy and suffocating. His sharp eyes immediately lock onto Zhang Yi, demanding to know why a human is lurking in his kingdom. Zhang Yi politely introduces himself as the Dao sect's top disciple, explaining that the Fox Saintess personally invited him. The Great Rock King is absolutely fuming that our boy would dare call their sacred Saintess a mere handmaiden. Unfazed, Zhang Yi just gives a smug grin and agrees to play by the local rules for this discussion. The king decides to test him, demanding to know what the human definition of the Dao actually is. Our boy realizes it is time to drop some earth knowledge and decides to unleash the legendary Tao Te Ching. As he begins reciting the ancient text, a mysterious and divine aura starts radiating from his very soul. The Great Rock King is completely dumbfounded, sensing the spiritual energy of the entire world resonating with Zhang Yi. A massive pillar of light erupts as the trash-tier demons watch in awe at the human summoning heaven's power. The fox beauties are practically melting, suddenly regretting that they did not spend more quality time with this unit. Sweating bullets, the king realizes he is not just dealing with some random disciple, but a true cultivation monster. The Great Rock King is absolutely shaken, convinced our boy is some reincarnated divine being from the heavens. Even the trash-tier demons are losing their minds, wondering if they are witnessing a living saint in the flesh. The king starts doubting if even the legendary Yue Yao could have taught him such profound, world-shaking secrets. Zhang Yi secretly smirks, realizing the ancient earth texts are basically a cheat code in this cultivation world. Sweating bullets, the king concludes that Zhang Yi must be directly linked to the literal world of gods. Suddenly, the king bursts into hysterical laughter, making our boy wonder if the old man has finally snapped. Turns out he is just starstruck, practically begging for Zhang Yi's friendship while the hero tries to escape. The local demon geniuses immediately throw in the towel, feeling like pathetic ants compared to his blinding brilliance. Though the king is being greedy for knowledge, Zhang Yi plays along just to secure that sweet reward. As he explains that true power flows like water, the spiritual energy around them surges into a massive wave. The Great Rock King realizes his aggressive warmongering was trash tier compared to the fluid, water-like expansion of human sects. While our boy maintains his sage-like aura, Chen Xiaoqui is clearly smitten by his deep, world-shaking philosophical insights. Completely dumbfounded by the wisdom, the king bows and thanks Zhang Yi for teaching him the true path of governance. He is actually shedding tears of joy, convinced that being gentle is the secret key to reaching the next level. The surrounding demon mobs are equally moved, feeling like a single conversation with Zhang Yi beats centuries of study. Chen Xiaoqui wastes no time claiming him, warning the crowd that the Fox clan now handles all his future appointments. The other demon tribes are green with envy, realizing the Fox clan just secured the ultimate political cheat code. Suddenly, Huya of the Tiger clan descends like a madman, hell-bent on taking Zhang Yi's life for his son. The king immediately shuts that down, pinning the grieving father to the dirt for daring to interrupt the conference. Huya desperately begs for a death sentence, revealing that Zhang Yi was the one who ended his son's life. Huya tries to pin his son's death on our boy, but Zhang Yi isn't buying this trash-tier logic. Fed up with the noise, Zhang Yi activates a system technique to teach the grieving father some manners. The kneeling technique takes hold, forcing the tiger leader to hit the deck against his own will. While Huya is pinned, the Great Rock King watches in awe, mesmerized by Zhang Yi's effortless authority. The Great Rock King decides he's seen enough and blasts the traitor away for daring to disturb them. To make amends, the Great Rock King presents the 10,000 years Thunderstrike wood as a gift. Zhang Yi plays it cool, reluctantly accepting the treasure while taking responsibility for the demon realm's future. The Great Rock King is fanboying hard, convinced that clinging to Zhang Yi is the path to prosperity. As he prepares to leave, the entire demon mob gathers to give their hero a tearful farewell. Finally, Zhang Yi reunites with his fox companions and Bai Zhe, ready for the next big journey. Zhang Yi explains he's gotta bounce because his master's heavenly tribulation is only 2 days away. Not wanting him to leave empty-handed, Chen Xiaokui gets bold and offers herself up as a parting gift. The Firefox ancestor shuts that down immediately, reminding her that being a maid is already an honor. Our boy is already mentally exhausted, dreading the awkward conversation he'll have to have with Yue Yao. To sweeten the deal, the ancestor pulls out a spicy private album filled with her own self-portraits. She hands over the forbidden literature, ensuring Zhang Yi has something to remember her by on the road. Zhang Yi takes a peek and realizes this gift might be a little too effective for his health. With the goods secured, the crew hops on Bai Zhe and waves a final goodbye to the clan. They soar into the sky, leaving the Fox territory behind as they head toward the next chaotic encounter. The ancestor watches them fade away, praying that Zhang Yi never forgets the devoted woman waiting for him. Our boy finally makes it back to the Taoist sect, but the welcoming committee looks completely drained of energy. The junior sisters are shocked to see him return with a fox saintess, yet their faces remain strangely gloomy. Sensing the heavy atmosphere, Zhang Yi immediately asks about his master's whereabouts, fearing the worst has already happened. The disciples explain that Yue Yao left yesterday to face her heavenly tribulation alone to avoid endangering them. Knowing exactly where she'd go, Zhang Yi summons his sword, refusing to let her face such danger solo. He blasts off into the sky, leaving his worried juniors behind as he races against time to reach her. If he doesn't make it in time, his master might be crushed by the heavens without his support. He reaches the Valley of Hundred Spirits, a desolate place perfect for a high-level cultivator to endure a breakthrough. Deep inside a hidden cave, he finally spots a familiar figure sitting amidst a swirling aura of energy. Seeing Yue Yao still safely in meditation, Zhang Yi breathes a sigh of relief, glad he found her. Zhang Yi explains he remembered this cave from a rainy training trip years ago, surprising his master. Yue Yao warns him to back off, insisting she must face the coming thunder tribulation, in total isolation. Our boy isn't having it, swearing to protect her whether she becomes an immortal or stays immortal. She snaps at him, claiming the path to the top is lonely, and separation is just part of the game. Zhang Yi counters that eternal life is trashed here if he can't spend it with the one he loves. Suddenly, the sky splits open as the heavens prepare to drop a massive lightning hammer on the valley. The tribulation hits earlier than expected, and Yue Yao desperately screams for him to run for his life. Instead of fleeing, he stands his ground and begins channeling a massive protective array to share the burden. Back at the sect, the girls watch the horizon, praying their senior brother and master survive the storm. Luoyan and the crew gear up, knowing they must hold the line against any vultures eyeing their home. Yehaoran and the spirit Qiji watch, as the sky turns into a chaotic mess of lightning. Xieji notes the tribulation is early and warns that this storm is a literal death sentence for most. She recalls how she was once at the peak of power before a similar storm turned her into a ghost. While she sees potential, Yehaoran thinks Zhang Yi is trashed here and plans to kill him very soon. A massive bolt of heavenly wrath tears through the clouds, signaling the start of the true trial. Over at the Earth sect, Senior Qinglian watches the horizon, knowing the final showdown has finally arrived. She finds Yue Yao annoying, but secretly hopes the old woman survives just long enough to ascend and leave. Once the master is gone, Qinglian plans to swoop in and claim Zhang Yi's heart for herself. The heavens roar as a blinding flash of energy slams into the valley with world-shaking force. Zhang Yi maintains a golden barrier, knowing they can't hide and must face the full might of heaven together. The sky finally breaks as the first wave of celestial lightning descends to judge the cultivators below. Yue Yao warns our boy to stay sharp because the real thunder is just getting started. A pillar of pure destruction slams down, threatening to turn the entire valley into a scorched wasteland. Turns out that Thunderstrike Wu Zhang Yi snagged in the demon realm is the perfect lightning rod. Heaven isn't playing around though, sending an even more intense blast meant to wipe her out completely. The treasure shatters under the pressure, and Yue Yao desperately tells him to retreat before he's vaporized. The sheer force of the tribulation sends her reeling as her defenses begin to crumble under the weight. Zhang Yi catches his master, but she's coughing blood and begs him to save himself from the storm. Suddenly, the lightning begins to swirl into a terrifying vortex that feels far more sentient than a storm. A massive, mocking face appears in the clouds, dumbfounded that mere mortals think they can resist heaven's will. Our boy's system goes haywire, warning him that the so-called heaven above has turned completely rotten and evil. As the dark avatar looms, Zhang Yi realizes that fate itself might just be a rigged game. Flashes of everyone he loves fuel his resolve, making him swear to defy the heavens for their sake. To save his master, he makes a desperate gamble by burning his own holy body to trigger a barrier. The golden array roars to life, meeting the sky's wrath head-on in a blinding clash of divine energies. Even as the world trembles, the barrier holds firm against the relentless onslaught of purple lightning. The celestial entity is left dumbfounded, sensing a power within Zhang Yi that shouldn't exist in a mortal. Far below, the onlookers can only watch in terror, questioning if they are witnessing a battle against divinity. Realizing he can't win this round, the spirit mocks our boy one last time before retreating. As the sun finally breaks through the gloom, the lingering laughter of the heavens leaves a bitter aftertaste. Zhang Yi realizes the system barrier saved them, but it completely drained his supreme holy body's power. Seeing her life force is still intact, he pulls out the Fox Clan's pill and a system fruit. He urges her to hold on, while channeling the medicine's power through a glowing healing array. After a tense moment, the ethereal beauty finally begins to stir as her consciousness slowly returns. Our boy is relieved when she opens her eyes, greeting her with a smile that hides his exhaustion. However, she immediately notices his aura has vanished, realizing he sacrificed his legendary physique just for her. She breaks down and calls him an idiot, wondering how he'll survive the cultivation world without his gift. He just pulls her close, claiming that losing his power is nothing compared to the thought of losing her. In this quiet moment, he finally lays his heart bare and asks if she feels the same way. Blushing harder than ever, the cold fairy finally prepares to admit what has been on her mind. Yue Yao finally drops her icy facade and admits that she actually likes him too. Our boy is absolutely over the moon, thinking he has finally won over his beautiful master's heart. However, she clarifies that her love is a complex mix of master-disciple bonds and selfish desire. She confesses that while she is ruthless to the world, she feels something truly indescribable for him. Zhang Yi is dumbfounded, realizing she has been bottling up these intense feelings for a long time. He pulls her close, claiming their minds are in perfect harmony, and he understands her heart completely. Our boy admits he has always loved her, but feared his words would ruin their precious bond. He cups her face, declaring she is the only person who truly matters to him in this world. Without another word, he leans in and seals his confession with a bold, passionate kiss. The cold fairy is left stunned, jokingly calling him a wicked disciple for his sudden, daring move. Zhang Yi pulls his master closer, his hand resting firmly against her as the tension reaches its peak. He finally goes for it, sealing the deal with a kiss that leaves the cold fairy completely breathless. Yue Yao can't help but reciprocate, her hands trembling as she finally lets her guard down for him. They stand alone in the wreckage of the tribulation, lost in a moment that defies every sect rule. Suddenly, she snaps back to reality and shoves him away, shouting that this has gone far enough. Our boy just grins from the dirt, teasing her about how even the merciless fairy has a shy side. He brings up an old legend about master-disciple lovers, trying to convince her that their bond is destiny. As he holds her again, she wonders why she can't find the strength to actually stay mad at him. The romantic atmosphere is instantly nuked when Bai Zhe comes soaring in with the rest of the crew. The girls are absolutely dumbfounded, catching them red-handed in what looks like a very scandalous outdoor rendezvous. Zhang Yi tries to play it cool, claiming he was just helping his weakened master after the lightning storm. The peanut gallery isn't buying his trash-tier excuses, especially not the judging divine beast and the skeptical girls. Our boy digs a deeper hole by claiming the demon saintess totally volunteered to be his personal maid. Chen Xiaokui immediately snitches, revealing he actually forced her into service, making him look like a total playboy. Surprisingly, the cold fairy decides having a high-ranking demon servant for her disciple is actually a huge win. She officially appoints the fox girl as a spy to report whenever Zhang Yi starts acting like a degenerate. While the crew celebrates his misfortune, they decide it is finally time to head back to the home base. The sect disciples are absolutely hyped to see their strongest duo return in one piece from the heavenly chaos. While walking, the saintess drops some heavy lore about how the recent tribulation wiped out countless top-tier experts. Zhang Yi realizes the heavenly Tao has turned selfish, literally devouring the souls of those who fail to ascend. Zhang Yi receives a high-stakes system task to destroy the heavenly Tao's evil consciousness within a century. Our boy steals his resolve, swearing to defy the heavens just to keep his master and himself alive. Suddenly, massive golden portals tear open as the great Zhou dynasty makes an unannounced and formal appearance. General Zhang Wufeng emerges to pay his respects, though his somber attire hints at a major tragedy. While the cold fairy demands answers, the princess grows anxious, noticing the funeral cloth on the general's head. The general delivers the crushing news that the Holy Emperor failed his tribulation and has officially passed away. Shen Chenyu completely loses it, falling into a state of pure denial over her father's sudden death. Sensing an era of total chaos approaching, Yue Yao orders Zhang Yi to escort the princess home immediately. Our boy comforts the grieving girl, promising his master that he will see this mission through to completion. They finally reach the Great Zhou Palace, where the atmosphere is heavy with mourning and political tension. Zhang Yi enters the palace with Chen Yu and Xiaokui, noting how imposing the royal grounds feel. The officials are dumbfounded, whispering that our boy is a god for having a demon saintess maid. The empress and crown prince Jiangqing greet them, though the atmosphere is thick with grief and mourning. Chen Yu finally breaks down, sobbing in her mother's arms as the reality of her father's death hits. Jiangqing clings to Zhang Yi like a lost child, making Xiaokui wonder if he attracts men too. Suddenly, a mocking laugh cuts through the air as a provocative woman calls the prince a brat. This is Ren Qianqiu, the demon emperor's daughter, currently cozying up to the trash-tier eldest prince. Our boy realizes the demon sect has already infiltrated the palace, sensing a massive conspiracy brewing. The brothers immediately start bickering over the throne, proving the royal family is cut from the same cloth. Changtian throws a massive tantrum, screaming that the throne should belong to him instead of his younger brother. Jiangqing retorts by flashing a middle finger learned from our boy, flexing his superior golden core cultivation stage. The demoness Ren Qianqiu intervenes, causing the trash-tier eldest prince to immediately fold and start acting like a simp. Jiangqing hides behind Zhang Yi like a scared child, while our boy senses a massive demonic conspiracy brewing. Ren Qianqiu starts flirting with Zhang Yi, making him wonder if his charm stat is just naturally maxed out. Xiaokui isn't having it, stepping in to protect her master and telling the demoness to back off immediately. The two beauties face off with murderous intent, ready to turn the palace into a literal war zone. The Empress Consort finally intervenes, decreeing that the brothers must settle their throne dispute without outside interference. Ren Qianqiu backs off with a final insult, leaving Zhang Yi smothered by tales and baffled by female hostility. The two brothers immediately start begging their mother to set the terms for the throne competition. The Empress Consort reveals the trial involves a hidden dragon vein that will choose the next heaven-sent ruler. While they play nice on the outside, both brothers are internally plotting to bury each other for good. She worries that this bitter sibling rivalry might actually be the final nail in the dynasty's coffin. Our boy is stunned when Jiangqing shamelessly offers up his own sister just to secure some extra help. Zhang Yi initially plays the high ground, telling the kid he needs to earn his own destiny. Suddenly, the system offers a chance to restore his holy body, making the mission a top priority. Jiangqing is completely dumbfounded when Zhang Yi does a total 180 and starts acting like his best friend. Meanwhile, the trash-tier eldest prince begs the demoness to handle Zhang Yi, unaware she finds him utterly repulsive. Zhang Yi leads the group to the Dragon Vein Cave, ready to claim the Empire's ultimate power. Jiangqing explains that the first trial is Knife Mountain, a place where ordinary cultivators meet their end. Staring at the wall of steel, our boy thinks this trial is just a bunch of oversized cutlery. To Jiangqing's absolute horror, Zhang Yi ignores tradition and summons a spiritual rocket launcher to clear the path. A massive explosion rocks the cave as the legendary trial is reduced to nothing but smoke and debris. Jiangqing is left trembling on the floor, realizing his big brother's magic weapons are completely heaven-defying. With the first checkpoint turned into a crater, Zhang Yi decides it's time to speedrun the rest. They arrive at the Fire Sea, where the temperature is high enough to incinerate a golden core master. While Zhangqing panics, Zhang Yi worries that the demoness is lurking nearby to steal their hard-earned victory. Xiao Kui builds a bridge of energy, leaving Changqing dumbfounded while our boy acts like it is just basic stuff. Little do they know, the trash-tier eldest prince and his demoness companion are hot on their heels. Sensing trouble, Zhang Yi tells his little brother to push ahead while he and Xiao Kui handle the trash. Changqing charges forward with newfound resolve, desperate to prove he is not just a waste of space. Back at the entrance, the arrogant Chang Tian tries to boss the demoness around like she is some servant. Turns out she is done playing nice, brutally ending the prince's life once his usefulness finally runs dry. Our boy is not surprised by her demonic cruelty and prepares to block her path to the dragon vein. He quickly realizes her cultivation is at the nascent soul stage, making this a life-or-death struggle. Knowing raw power will not cut it, Zhang Yi summons his divine brush to even the playing field. Zhang Yi mocks the cultivation gap, betting his insane hand speed can actually bridge the massive power distance. He recites a legendary poem, manifesting a golden domain that catches the arrogant demoness completely off guard. Ren Qianqiu is dumbfounded as the fusion of poetry and painting mana binds her like a common criminal. Our boy can't help but brag about bagging a nascent soul expert while Chen Xiaokui watches in awe. The demoness fumes in her golden cage, promising a world of pain once she finally breaks free. Before she can act, Zhang Yi whips out his Qiankun bag to swallow her soul state whole. With the trash successfully binned, he celebrates his victory, while his new prisoner curses his entire lineage. He realizes the Demon Emperor's daughter is the perfect bargaining chip to settle some upcoming political debts. Suddenly, the tables turn as a spectral hand lunges from the bag to crush our boy's throat. Ren Qianqiu lunges with murderous intent, determined to make our boy pay for his earlier arrogance. She slams him into the dirt as Chen Xiaokui watches in horror, while Zhang Yi realizes he definitely miscalculated. The demoness blasts the fox girl aside, sneering that a mere servant isn't even worthy of being her enemy. Looming over him, she maliciously wonders if she should start her torture by carving up his handsome face. As she gets dangerously close, Zhang Yi knows he is backed into a corner and must use his trump card. He quickly weaves a complex hand seal, channeling every bit of mana he has left into one final gamble. Suddenly, a massive golden formation erupts, leaving the demoness completely dumbfounded and unable to move a single muscle. Even Chen Xiaokui finds herself paralyzed by the overwhelming pressure of the ancient seal locking down the area. Our boy smugly explains this is his master's ultimate imprisonment art, forcing them both into a stalemate of stillness. Though she swears revenge, Ren Qianqiu is secretly shaken by a strange, sudden throbbing in her cold demon heart. Zhang Yi is barely holding the seal, praying that his royal brother can secure the dragon vein's approval. Meanwhile, Shen Changqing enters the cave's depths, facing a gauntlet of massive, hammer-wielding armored sentinels. He realizes this trial wasn't in the records, staring down a guardian that towers over his puny frame. Sensing something is off about these metal giants, he decides to blitz past them before they can react. But the ancient machinery hums to life, a sinister red glow igniting within the guardian's cold iron helmet. Suddenly, the prince is dancing for his life as the statues move with a speed that defies their bulk. One heavy strike catches him off guard, sending a jolt of pure agony through his royal body. He hits the dirt hard, barely avoiding a crushing blow that would have turned him into a pancake. Looking at the destruction, he feels like a total failure for struggling against mere suits of trash-tier armor. He grits his teeth in shame, cursing the years of stagnation that left him so utterly pathetic and weak. He remembers a childhood of pure misery, where his own brothers and even the palace staff treated him like trash. Even then, our boy held on to his kindness, wanting nothing more than to protect his sister and honor his father. But in this cutthroat world, his mercy was seen as weakness, leaving him a prince that everyone looked down upon. He starts sobbing, terrified that he's just a burden to Zhang Yi, and a total disappointment to his late father. As the guardians close in, he realizes that protecting his sister and his dynasty requires more than just good intentions. A cold purple light ignites in his eyes as he finally decides to stop running from his own destiny. His royal robes explode as a dormant power surges through him, fueling a desperate resolve to stop being useless. A massive dragon Asura erupts from his soul with a roar that echoes through the entire dragon vein cave. The trash-tier guardians are instantly reduced to scrap metal, leaving him standing alone in the middle of the carnage. Hess completely dumbfounded, realizing he just awakened the legendary 100-battle tyrant body of the great Zhou royal clan. Shen Changqing rushes through the ruins, desperate to find the dragon vein while our boy Zhang Yi handles the enemies. He finally reaches the secret chamber, but is dumbfounded when he can't sense a single drop of dragon aura. His search is interrupted when he spots a mysterious white-haired girl casually napping on the sacred stone altar. The brat wakes up with a mean right hook, sending the prince flying for disturbing her peaceful slumber. He freezes in shock, realizing this little girl carries the exact same aura as the legendary founding ancestor, Shen Wangu. Before he can even bow, she delivers a painful headbutt while claiming to be his literal 1,000-year-old ancestor. She explains that a botched heavenly tribulation forced her to swallow the dragon vein, which reverted her body's age. Shen Changqing nearly has a heart attack, realizing his ticket to the throne was just eaten by a toddler. She just smirks and decides that since she is the dragon vein now, she'll give him her personal approval. Meanwhile, the system pings as Zhang Yi successfully restores his supreme holy body, thanks to the prince's royal breakthrough. The system pings with glory as our boy finally breaks through to the nascent soul realm. Ren Qianqiu is left completely dumbfounded by the sudden, suffocating pressure of his restored holy body. He casually produces a glowing lightning whip, mocking the princess for being weaker than a common pebble. She tries to resist, but realizes her internal energy is far too depleted to stop his advance. With a sharp crack, he begins his unique brand of discipline to humble the arrogant demon princess. He claims each strike as a gift, promising that 3 whips are enough to make anyone feel immortal. Having lived a life of luxury, she trembles in shame at being treated like a common servant. He activates his kneeling water technique, forcing her body to submit to his will without any resistance. Watching from the sidelines, Chen Xiaokui finds the scene surprisingly exciting and wishes she could participate too. Suddenly, the prince returns to the fray carrying his pint-sized ancestor to show off their newfound power. The prince catches our boy mid-discipline and is genuinely impressed by his bold style of handling trash-tier enemies. Zhang Yi isn't even embarrassed, telling the newcomers they're just in time to help seal this demonic princess. Realizing she's cornered, Ren Qianqiu decides to burn her ultimate trump card to escape this humiliating situation. She triggers the malevolent emperor's teleportation talisman, catching Zhang Yi off guard with its sudden, explosive power. The air screams as she warns them to back off before the curse-breaking spell levels the entire area. Disappearing into a void, the witch vows that Zhang Yi will pay for underestimating her during their next encounter. Our boy just sighs, mourning the loss of a prime hostage he planned to trade for top-tier treasures. The prince drops a bombshell, revealing that the legendary dragon vein is actually tucked inside his tiny ancestor. Zhang Yi loses it, laughing at the idea of this pint-sized brat being the great founding emperor. His jaw hits the floor when he remembers the legend of the immortal who regressed after failing their tribulation. The tiny ancestor laments how failing her tribulation and absorbing the dragon vein cursed her with this childish form. Zhang Yi realizes the heavenly Tao is just a trash-tier farmer, treating every powerful cultivator like lambs for slaughter. The prince and his ancestor propose a preemptive strike on the magic sect before their enemies can regroup. Our boy agrees, already calculating how much top-tier loot they can plunder while coordinating with his cold-hearted master. Meanwhile, deep within the ominous Wanmo cave, the atmosphere is thick with demonic energy and impending war. Ren Qianqiu settles back onto her throne of skulls, feeling her strength return after that humiliating narrow escape. She seethes with rage, swearing that she will personally ensure Zhang Yi begs for death once he is captured. A messenger reports that their elite forces and the 4 demon kings are fully mobilized and awaiting her command. The witch decides to recruit the traitor Yahello. Knowing his grudge against Zhang Yi makes him the perfect guide. She plans to use this chaos to establish total dominance and finally outshine her father, the demon emperor. Zhang Yi and his fox handmaiden are almost home, but the peaceful forest hides a dark secret. Suddenly, Chen Xiaokui senses a foul demonic aura nearby, warning our boy to stay on high alert. They spot magic sect troops lurking, making Zhang Yi realize the witch's army is moving faster than expected. The system triggers a ridiculous mission, demanding Zhang Yi cross-dress to infiltrate or face a humiliating debasement. He initially refuses with righteous fury, claiming his noble heart won't succumb to such trash-tier schemes. However, when the system dangles an S-class spell, his principles vanish faster than a low-level mob. Zhang Yi shamelessly begs Chen Xiaokui to use her fox magic to help him pull off the disguise. Meanwhile, the exhausted magic sect lackeys take a breather, completely unaware that trouble is walking right toward them. Our boy emerges in a cursed pure love outfit, looking absolutely terrifying with his muscular frame and fake curves. The enemy soldiers are left utterly dumbfounded by the muscular sister who just appeared out of nowhere. The magic sect mobs are so traumatized by our boy's cursed look, they start puking rainbows in pure agony. Turns out the plan worked too well, as the system rewards Zhang Yi with a top-tier counterstrike spell. Infuriated by the sight of this monster, The survivors and their giant wolf beast charge in for the kill. Chen Xiaokui warns him not to be reckless, but Zhang Yi is itching to test his shiny new barrier. The beast slams into the golden shield, only to be sent flying back by its own reflected momentum. With the trash tier mobs reeling, Zhang Yi decides it is time to wipe the floor with every last one. Suddenly, a powerful presence drops from the sky, demanding to know who dares ambush the magic sect forces. The duo barely manages to dodge the lethal shockwave as the ground shatters beneath the newcomer's landing. Meet the Wind Demon, a legendary king who was actually impressed they survived her opening move. Realizing a heavy hitter has arrived, Zhang Yi burns away his disguise to face her in his true form. Wind Demon recognizes our boy, and plans to gift his head to that trash-tier witch Ren Qianqiu. Zhang Yi effortlessly dances through the gale, mocking her weak storm as nothing more than a light breeze. Even the Demon King is impressed by his speed, though she quickly blocks his counter with her fan. Suddenly, Chen Xiaokui lunges in, with a sneak attack, leaving the Demon King cursing the pesky fox. Zhang Yi tells her a mere nascent soul demon isn't worthy, while she prepares to unleash hell. The Demon King gathers her mana, looking down on them like flickering candles about to be snuffed out. A massive wind burst erupts, turning the entire battlefield into a chaotic, swirling death trap. Realizing this fight is a drag, Zhang Yi scoops up his fox companion to make a tactical exit. They rocket away from the blast zone, leaving the Demon King's ultimate move hitting nothing but dirt. As the dust settles and debris flies, our boy has already vanished into the distance. The Demon King laughs like a maniac, convinced her massive blast turned our boy into literal trail mix. Turns out he was just hovering above, mocking her for having a casting speed that is totally trash tier. She looks up in a cold sweat, absolutely dumbfounded that anyone could move that fast during her ultimate. Zhang Yi just grins and explains his rocket-style sword technique made her big flashy move look like a joke. He doesn't give her a second to breathe, sending her crashing into the dirt with a heavy strike. With his blade at her throat, he demands to know if Ren Qianqiu sent her to do the dirty work. Since she's acting tough and asking for death, he decides to introduce her to a nasty little spirit bomb. He ignores her cries of him being despicable, while shoving the glowing artifact straight into her chest. The Demon King realizes she's in deep trouble as the artifact starts causing absolute chaos in her meridians. Zhang Yi demands intel in exchange for her life, while the Fox Saintess admires his collection of peculiar toys. Wind Demon spills everything, revealing that the other three Demon Kings are currently marching toward the Dao sect. Our boy is fuming, realizing that trash-tier traitor Yahello is the one leading the enemy to his home. He grabs the Fox Saintess and starts hauling tail back, planning to use their captive's wind powers as a counter. Meanwhile, at the outskirts of the mountains, the traitors are already positioning themselves for a massive ambush. The Thunder, Water, and Fire Demon Kings are feeling themselves, thanking the traitor for finding them a shortcut. Yahello just smirks and tells them to make sure Zhang Yi suffers a slow, painful death when they meet. The Fire Demon is more than happy to oblige, claiming our boy is already a dead man walking. With a roar, the demonic trio charges forward, aiming to crush the Dao sect and start their world conquest. Shiji watches the chaos and asks her puppet if his obsession is just because he keeps losing. Yahello just flares his aura, believing fate only has room for one of them to reach the top. The magic sect's trash-tier mobs finally reach the Dao sect, screaming for blood and total chaos. Little Baize isn't having it, baring her teeth as she warns the invaders to stay away. Luoyan jumps into the fray, swinging her massive weapon and promising a world of pain for everyone. Yue Yao stands her ground against the three remaining Demon Kings, calling out their absolute audacity. She reminds them how their sect was crushed centuries ago, wondering if they've already forgotten that agony. The demonic trio just laughs, betting that an injured master is no match for three nascent soul elites. Suddenly, a massive golden strike tears through the sky, forcing the arrogant kings to halt their charge. They are dumbfounded to see our boy Zhang Yi returning with their captured wind demon in tow. Yue Yao watches her disciple land, realizing his cultivation has reached a level she never expected so soon. The water demon loses her cool, surging forward to eliminate Zhang Yi and their disgraced comrade. The captured wind demon is absolutely fuming, demanding to be let go so she can handle things herself. The water demon doesn't care about sisterhood, calling her comrade trash tier for only being in the nascent soul stage. Zhang Yi decides it's time to help his master by taking the aggressive water demon off the board first. Meanwhile, the Thunder and Fire brothers lock onto Yue Yao, determined to prove they are the superior cultivators. They unleash a massive fire dragon, but Yue Yao just scoffs at what she calls a mere acrobatic performance. Even with her lingering injuries from the tribulation, she knows these nascent soul clowns are still beneath her level. With a single strike, She cleaves through their dual-element aura, leaving the brothers completely dumbfounded and sweating. Realizing they can't win alone, the demonic duo decides their only option is to combine their chaotic powers. They initiate a long-lost fusion technique, merging their thunder and fire into a singular, terrifying demonic presence. A massive skeletal titan emerges, and while Yue Yao is impressed by the power, she spots their fatal flaw. The battlefield descends into absolute chaos as massive explosions rip through the ranks of the invading magic sect disciples. The water demon is completely livid, screaming that her former comrade is a trash-tier traitor for siding with humans. Fueled by pure spite, she channels her mana to summon a massive, crushing demon tide to bury everyone alive. As the water surges, our boy tells the silver-haired captive to stop whining and use her wind to counter. The water demon just laughs, convinced that her merciless waves will drown every single soul on this mountain. Finally forced to act, the wind demon unleashes a gale force blast to push back the rising flood. The sudden counterattack leaves the water master completely soaked and utterly dumbfounded by the betrayal of her own element. Zhang Yi uses the distraction to launch himself into the air, promising his reluctant helper a reward for her service. Even as he stomps toward her, the water demon warns him that his good looks won't stop her strike. Our boy just smiles, wondering if he can store all this high-quality spirit water inside his holding bag. Zhang Yi activates his holding bag, vacuuming up every last drop of the demon's massive tidal wave. The water demon stands there frozen, unable to believe her ultimate attack was just swallowed by a sack. Our boy decides to be helpful, channeling fire mana to boil the stolen water right inside the bag. He reminds her that stealing is wrong and insists on returning her property with a little extra heat. Before she can react, he force-feeds the boiling spirit water back to her in massive, humiliating gulps. Her belly swells up like a balloon as she desperately tries to push the relentless cultivator away. Watching from the sidelines, his companions find the whole scene absolutely hilarious and thrilling to witness. Refusing to back down, the drenched demon tries one last desperate blast to reclaim her dignity. Zhang Yi just smirks and triggers a counterattack spell, reflecting her own power right back at her. Completely broken and soaked, she realizes that losing to a lower-stage cultivator is the ultimate sect-ending disgrace. Zhang Yi declares that retribution is coming, and seals the water demon with his Seven Wonders technique. The demon is dumbfounded as she is instantly transformed into a helpless, crying fish. Our boy decides to layer on extra sealing spells just to ensure she stays in her new aquatic form. His companions jokingly debate whether they should grill or steam the trash-tier demon for dinner. Zhang Yi scolds them, deciding she will make a perfect pet for his master instead. Meanwhile, the Tian sect opportunists launch a raid on the Dao sect while it is vulnerable. Luoyan and Bai Zhe stand their ground, realizing the elders are too busy to help them. Suddenly, the Great Zhou reinforcements arrive with the tiny but terrifying Shen Wanggu leading the charge. The girls share a happy reunion, while poor Bai Zhe gets squished in the middle of the hug. Shen Wanggu releases her aura, daring the invading elder to try and step past her. Shen Wanggu makes it clear that messing with the Dao sect means answering to the Great Zhou dynasty. She swings her massive weapon with such force that the trash-tier elder can barely even process the impact. The elder is left dumbfounded as his ancient spear shatters against what he realizes is the human emperor's axe. He gets sent flying while the tiny powerhouse mocks him for being the weakest link among his peers. Elsewhere, Yue Yao faces a massive demon, effortlessly weaving through a chaotic storm of fire and lightning. The beast thinks she is running out of steam, but the merciless fairy is just getting started. She mocks his intelligence, revealing that she was simply playing with him to test his dark arts. Unleashing her true potential, she invokes a massive sword formation to seal the area in divine light. The demon finds himself completely immobilized, realizing too late that his spiritual energy is totally spent. Yue Yao prepares to end the fight by raining down a convergence of 10,000 swords on her prey. The massive fire demon gets absolutely shredded by the fairy's overwhelming sword formation. With a final burst of divine light, the beast is erased from existence, as Yue Yao stands victorious. The remaining trash-tier invaders realize they messed with the wrong sect and start begging for their pathetic lives. Yue Yao isn't feeling merciful today and wipes them out to show the world the Dao sect's true teeth. Our boy finally regroups with his master, bringing along his chaotic squad and a bag full of demon fish. Zhang Yi shamelessly showers his master with praise, acting like her biggest fan after her legendary display. Meanwhile, the tiny ancestor keeps the cowardly emperor pinned down, making sure he doesn't crawl away in shame. Yue Yao decides it's time to execute the snake to unify the continent and strike fear into her enemies. The once mighty emperor is reduced to a blubbering mess, realizing his royal blood won't save him from her blade. Suddenly, the system throws a curveball, forcing Zhang Yi to find a way to save this trash for future schemes. Our boy steps in, telling his master that this trash-tier emperor isn't worth dirtying her elegant hands. Yue Yao steps back, giving him the green light to sharpen his killer instinct with a swift execution. The pathetic emperor begs for death, but Zhang Yi shocks everyone by claiming he's actually letting him go. He commands the coward to vanish immediately, but the suspicious emperor suspects some kind of dirty trick. Tired of the chatter, Zhang Yi literally kicks him out, warning him not to underestimate his supposed mercy. Once the system confirms the mission reward, our boy drops the act and prepares to detonate his hidden trap. A massive explosion paints the sky, as Yue Yao wonders if all that drama was just for fireworks. With the emperor gone, the cold fairy plans to swallow up the remaining sects and prepare for war. The squad pledges their loyalty, with Zhang Yi planning a trip to the demon realm for even more backup. The tiny ancestor officially aligns the Great Zhou with the sect. Knowing the new emperor won't dare object, Yue Yao graciously accepts the alliance, noting how our boy's personal connections made the entire process effortless. When Zhang Yi suggests visiting the Earth sect next, his master immediately suspects he's just chasing another beauty. Our boy internally teases the cold fairy for being a jealous tsundere who refuses to express her feelings. The master gets uncomfortably close, claiming she trusts him while radiating a pressure that makes him break sweat. She gifts him a top-grade spirit pill for his exhaustion, though he feels it's more like mental warfare. The girls watching from the sidelines are convinced they're witnessing a scandalous master-disciple romance in the making. High above the battlefield, the divine beast leads the charge to wipe out the remaining trash-tier invaders. The fleeing cowards beg for their lives, realizing the Dao sect has no intention of showing them any mercy. From the shadows, the traitorous Yahello watches his vanguard get dismantled, unable to believe his master's failure. His spirit companion warns him that the Dao sect is a top-tier powerhouse that won't fall so easily. Yahello refuses to give up, planning to recruit the demoness Ren Qianqiu for their next strike. His spirit guide sighs at his impatience, secretly wondering if she should just jump ship to Zhang Yi. She even starts blushing at the thought, questioning if our boy would actually take in a spirit like her. The next morning, Zhang Yi arrives at the Earth Sect Square with his little sister in tow. Luoyan teases him about why they're alone, but he just claims it's out of habit from their travels. She pouts when he gets serious, though she's clearly just happy to be away from the master's pressure. The Earth Sect's top heirs greet them, though Jun Wuyan is clearly annoyed to see the little glutton. The two girls immediately start bickering, with the enchantress mocking Luoyan's height and sudden growth elsewhere. Jun Wao drops a bombshell, explaining that Jun Lintian is bedridden after a disastrous encounter with lightning. Zhang Yi realizes the alliance is in trouble, as they can't move forward without the unconscious leader's approval. A sudden system mission triggers, leaving our boy panicking since he's a warrior, not a miracle-working doctor. He suggests finding spirit grass in Baikao Valley, secretly hoping the Earth Sect heirs will take the risk instead. The siblings are moved to tears by his guidance, completely unaware he's just trying to dodge a dangerous chore. Suddenly, Senior Qinglian appears and demands that the heirs stay put while she handles the mission with him. Zhang Yi is dumbfounded as this troublesome beauty crashes the party, making the local disciples feel incredibly awkward. Before he can argue, she binds him with her whisk, ignoring his claims that she has some ulterior motives. She gets way too close for comfort, dragging him along while he desperately tries to stay loyal to his master. The trash-tier disciples are green with envy, crying over how this kidnapping looks like a total romantic win. She takes off into the sky with her captive, while his little sister hitches a ride on his leg. They finally reach the lush Baikao Valley, where the real hunt for the sect leader's cure begins. Zhang Yi is impressed by the elder's luck, while she fumes over the little sister ruining her date. Their peaceful foraging is cut short when massive, multi-eyed predators suddenly drop from the canopy to ambush them. It turns out the spirit grass was just bait for these nascent soul-stage rainbow demon fang spiders. Instead of being terrified, the little sister starts drooling over how much meat these giant pests might provide. The elder snaps at her for being a delusional small fry, before grabbing both burdens to flee. A massive explosion rocks the forest behind them as they narrowly dodge the initial wave of the swarm. She complains about her heavy cargo, while our boy reminds her he never actually asked for this ride. Desperate for a breather, she spots a dark cave entrance on the mountainside that looks like a perfect hideout. After sealing the entrance with a spell, they realize they might have jumped straight into the spider's lair. The little sister points out a glowing, massive egg, leaving them all wondering what kind of nightmare they've found. Zhang Yi realizes this isn't some trash-tier spider egg, but a treasure brimming with massive spiritual energy. Luoyan is already drooling and wants to roast it, much to the annoyance of the others. Our boy explains that true geniuses always stumble upon legendary opportunities during desperate times like these. He starts acting like a total narcissistic maniac, claiming his divine physique practically guarantees top-tier loot. He jokingly suggests Senior Qinglian should sit on it, but she counters with a much more provocative proposal. Getting fed up, Luoyan snatches the egg herself, though Zhang Yi has a seriously bad feeling about this. Turns out her idea of incubation is just sticking the poor thing directly over a roaring campfire. Suddenly, the shell begins to crack under the heat, as something inside finally decides to wake up. A blinding light erupts from the shell, leaving the group stunned while Luoyan mourns her lost meal. A tiny, adorable dragon emerges from the flames and immediately starts calling the little sister its mother. Zhang Yi wonders if this winged creature is the legendary Ying Long, while Luoyan still sees a snack. Both ladies try to win its affection with promises of milk, hoping to be its new mommy. The little beast isn't buying it and sends Luoyan flying, proving its strength is no joke. It decides our boy is the only one worthy, demanding he take on the role of its father. While Luoyan throws a tantrum, Qinglian realizes this tiny creature already possesses a terrifying nascent soul aura. The baby gets hungry, but instead of milk, Zhang Yi offers it a taste of his strong alcohol. Qinglian makes a suggestive offer, while the dragon happily chugs the spirit wine like a true cultivation pro. One massive burp later, the dragon unleashes Samadhi True Fire, nearly turning the entire group into charcoal. Our boy realizes he just gained a top-tier flamethrower, and prepares to wipe out the spiders outside. With his new living weapon in hand, the squad heads out to turn those trash-tier bugs into ash. Zhang Yi lets the baby dragon loose, watching as Samadhi True Fire incinerates the trash-tier spiders instantly. Qinglian and Luoyan dive into the chaos, eager to finish off the remaining pests and claim their victory. After the slaughter, our boy reminds everyone to loot the corpses, while the greedy dragon focuses on eating. Back at the Earth sect, the news spreads quickly that the sect master has finally opened his eyes. Junlin Tian wakes up dazed, while his children thank Zhang Yi for providing the life-saving spirit herb. Zhang Yi plays it cool, claiming it was just a favor while secretly eyeing the mission rewards. Realizing the Dao sect is now the continent's top power, the Earth sect leader has no choice but to submit. The system pings with a massive win, granting our boy a new lightning technique to smite his future enemies. With the alliance sealed, Zhang Yi sets his sights on unifying the continent by crushing the rival Qingshan sect. He knows their righteous reputation is a total sham, hiding a wicked gang that needs to be taken down. The Qingshan sect is basically a trash-tier gang masquerading as cultivators to exploit the common folk. Our boy's system suddenly triggers a high-stakes mission to wipe these thugs out within just 7 days. Zhang Yi flees the Earth sect on his sword, having luckily tricked the obsessive Senior Qinglian into a fake date. Back at the sect, Senior Qinglian is left waiting under the sunset, feeling totally stood up by her crush. She decides if she can't win his heart, she'll just settle for capturing his body by force instead. By the next day, our group arrives at Yulan City, the heart of the corrupt Qingshan territory. They find a crowd of brainwashed locals worshipping some arrogant banners written by the local young master. Not one for nonsense, Zhang Yi reaches out and disrespectfully tears the trashy couplets right off the wall. He calls the citizens total fools for praising such garbage, much to the shock of the surrounding onlookers. The angry mob warns him that disrespecting Zhao Yan is a death sentence, but our boy couldn't care less. Zhang Yi smirks, thinking he finally found a decent challenge in this trash-tier city after hearing about the opponent. Suddenly, the local young master Zhao Yan arrives, flanked by a smug scholar and a group of guards. The terrified citizens scramble for cover, knowing that crossing the Qingshan sect usually ends in a funeral. Sparks fly as our boy faces down the arrogant noble, neither side willing to back down an inch. Zhao Yan tries to act like a hero, claiming his sect only wants to bring peace and harmony. Zhang Yi isn't buying it, pointing out that everyone knows they just exploit the weak for their own gain. Feeling disrespected, the young master fumes, while his advisor steps in to put the outsider in his place. The scholar challenges Zhang Yi to a literary duel, but our boy just picks his nose, looking completely bored. Losing his cool, Zhao Yan orders his man to stop talking and just kill the brat already. While the onlookers think he's seeking death, Zhang Yi prepares to show them why he's the real deal. The scholar recites a couplet that summons a massive tidal wave, trying to drown everyone in his ego. The citizens tremble, convinced that ordinary people have no hope against such overwhelming spiritual pressure. Zhang Yi remains unfazed, confident that his cultural background from Earth makes these guys look like total amateurs. When he responds with a poem about chrysanthemums, a golden aura erupts and leaves his sister totally starstruck. The crowd is swept away by the fragrance, finding his words much more relatable than the scholar's arrogance. Both the scholar and the young master are dumbfounded that simple phrases could manifest such a powerful phenomenon. Feeling humiliated, The scholar sheds his robes and channels his full power for a more physical second round. He releases a massive shockwave, arrogantly claiming that his sect is the only true ruler of this world. Zhao Yan laughs at the display of dominance, thinking his man has finally regained the upper hand. Our boy just stares them down, calling their self-praise pathetic before preparing his final, crushing response. Zhang Yi unleashes a righteous poem that manifests as a blinding golden light, demanding justice for the common folk. The shockwave of his words ignites the Yulan citizens, who finally find the courage to demand the sect's expulsion. The Qingshan scholar is reduced to a blubbering mess, desperately hoping his remaining momentum can salvage his pride. He gathers every ounce of his cultivation into one final, pathetic couplet, trying to force the heavens to listen. Our boy just delivers a brutal counterstrike that sends the trash-tier scholar flying like he was kicked by a donkey. With his main muscle out cold, Zhao Yan realizes he is completely alone, and his backup is nowhere nearby. Driven by pure desperation, the young master gambles his entire future on a single, suicidal death blow against Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi casually shuts him down with a single punch, wondering why these weaklings always feel the need to shout. Even while coughing up blood, the arrogant brat tries to hide behind his father's status like a true coward. Unimpressed by the empty threats, Zhang Yi sends him face first into the dirt to teach him about true invincibility. Zhao Yan is absolutely losing it, sobbing about his humiliation and daring our boy to finally end his life. Zhang Yi just shrugs, remarking that he's never heard such a weird request but is happy to oblige him. A massive bolt of lightning crashes down, silencing the brat's screams before he can even regret his big mouth. Looking at the charred remains, Zhang Yi notes the efficiency of his new thunder technique while his sister cheers. The local citizens are grateful but terrified, begging the group to flee before the sect's heavy hitters arrive. Our boy just smiles, telling them he's here for justice and wants the world to know he's the executioner. By the next morning, the peace is shattered as a massive cavalry force storms the city gates seeking blood. Leading the charge is Zhao Yu, a nascent soul powerhouse demanding they capture Zhang Yi alive for his crimes. Suddenly, the ground begins to glow with an ominous blue light, making the soldiers realize they've walked into a trap. Massive explosions tear through the ranks, sending men flying while their leader desperately tries to maintain order. Zhang Yi explains he's rigged the city with spiritual bombs, ensuring safety as long as no internal betrayal occurs. Suddenly, Zhao Yu leads an aerial assault on a dragon, making our boy realize Luo Yan might be a jinx. Zhang Yi draws his blade, deciding to conserve energy by sticking to swordplay instead of his taxing thunder techniques. Zhao Yu isn't playing around, unleashing a massive beast-like strike that tears through the sky toward them. Our boy just smirks, wondering why these trash-tier villains always feel the need to shout their move names. He counters with his own poetic sword art, summoning a massive golden rock that radiates pure, immortal energy. Zhao Yu is completely dumbfounded, insulting the legendary bird by calling it a mere chicken, which visibly irritates Zhang Yi. The divine sword Qi slams into the enemy mount, sending the massive beast spiraling toward the ground. Not wanting to miss the fun, Zhang Yi calls for his sister and the little dragon to join the fray. The trio delivers a synchronized beatdown, with Zhang Yi landing a solid kick, while Luo Yan and the dragon pummel them. Zhao Yu starts sweating and orders his lizard mount to grow, hoping size can bridge the power gap. The lizard bulks up into a behemoth, but Luo Yan just thinks the giant reptile looks like a snack. Zhang Yi isn't about to let them show off, and tells his team to reveal their own growth. The little dragon becomes a mountain of scales, motivated by Luo Yan's promise of sweet candied hawthorn rewards. The massive dragon launches a devastating belly flop, leaving Zhao Yu screaming for his life as shadows loom. Our boy pulls a classic bait and switch, shouting about a palm technique while delivering a brutal face kick. Zhao Yu is dumbfounded by the impact, realizing Zhang Yi's holy body grants him absolutely terrifying physical strength. The little dragon traps the enemy lizard in a crushing hug that is anything but friendly or loving. Luo Yan is completely floored when the dragon swallows the beast whole, proving it's the ultimate glutton of the group. Seeing their master getting wrecked, the trash-tier soldiers charge forward in a desperate attempt to save him. Luo Yan spots the incoming reinforcements, while the little dragon is still busy snacking on his latest meal. Zhao Yu laughs, thinking numbers will save him, but our boy is just excited to clear the field. Suddenly, the obsessive senior Qinglian crashes the party, complaining that Zhang Yi started a fight without her. She immediately clears the trash-tier soldiers with a massive purple storm, proving she is as deadly as crazy. Zhao Yu tries to stir the pot by accusing Zhang Yi of having a secret fling with the elder. Zhang Yi isn't having it, and shuts him up with a strike that sends the arrogant brat flying. Just as he is about to finish it, the system offers an S-rank spell to keep Zhao Yu alive. Realizing he cannot pass up the loot, Zhang Yi delivers a non-lethal kick to keep the lizard dizzy. He plants a spiritual energy bomb inside Zhao Yu, turning the sect heir into a walking, talking hostage. Qinglian demands repayment for her help, leaving Zhang Yi sweating over the terrifying cost of her emotional debts. Zhang Yi promises to personally serve the obsessive senior Qinglian once the trash-tier Qingshan sect is finally erased. He even swears a fake oath on his sister's life, making Luoyan realize her brother is a total scumbag. After getting a surprise kiss, our boy laments how his past life luck has turned into a mountain of debt. With the hostage in tow, the group begins their march toward the enemy headquarters to settle the score. High atop the mountain, the Qingshan sect headquarters sits oblivious to the storm currently heading its way. Inside, the sect master Zhao Wansong is busy playing games with his maids, instead of actually leading. The trash-tier leader finally catches his prize, laughing while his entire sect is about to go up in flames. A panicked disciple ruins the mood by reporting that the young master has been turned into a human shield. Wansong starts crying crocodile tears for his son, while still refusing to let go of his terrified maidservant. Enraged by the interruption, the hypocritical master kicks his own disciple away for not understanding his profound grief. Zhao Wansong takes his frustration out on a disciple, swearing he won't let our boy off easily. The squad finally arrives at the gate square, making a grand entrance that puts the whole sect on edge. Zhang Yi holds a blade to the hostage's throat, mockingly asking how the master plans to repay his kindness. Seeing senior Qinglian by his side, the trash-tier master realizes a direct fight would be a total suicide mission. He quickly tosses over a heavy bag of loot, hoping to buy some time against the overwhelming pressure. Our boy is pleased with the haul of stolen treasures, deciding to keep them as a personal victory stash. After securing a new system spell, he kicks the hostage back while secretly activating a hidden spiritual bomb. The son desperately tries to warn his father about the trap as he's launched through the air like a projectile. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the square, turning the joyous reunion into a chaotic, blue-tinted inferno of spiritual energy. Though he barely survives the blast, the enraged master vows that he and Zhang Yi can never coexist again. Zhang Yi decides to have some fun, unleashing his falling chrysanthemum stone blade to overwhelm the enemy. The trash-tier master is completely dumbfounded, wondering what kind of sentient sorcery is controlling these flying knives. To everyone's absolute horror, the old creep actually seems to be enjoying the backdoor nature of the attack. Our boy and his crew are left speechless, realizing they've encountered a level of degeneracy they weren't prepared for. Shaking off the disgust, Zhang Yi locks in and decides it's finally time to put this old guy down. He charges forward as his sister and the divine beast cheer for the total destruction of the sect. Feeling the pressure, the master reveals his final trump card by summoning two massive, blood-red, unrivaled great serpents. He laughs maniacally, bragging about the countless lives he sacrificed to cultivate these nascent soul-stage monsters. Zhang Yi just smirks, realizing he almost forgot about the ultimate treasure his master bestowed upon him. The ethereal Yue Yao manifests through the portal, immediately scolding her disciple for being such a reckless troublemaker. Qinglian is absolutely fuming, because the master's arrival just ruined her plans for a peaceful life with Zhang Yi. Our boy doesn't care about the drama, and rushes to greet his master with pure, unadulterated joy. Yue Yao isn't having it, and immediately smacks him for being a reckless idiot who almost got killed. Qinglian just scoffs and asks if the old woman is really that worried about her precious little disciple. The two powerhouses start clashing with their sheer killing intent, leaving Zhang Yi trembling between two terrifying women. Feeling ignored, the trash-tier sect master orders his blood-red serpents to tear everyone apart. Both women turn their icy glares toward him, telling the old creep to keep his mouth shut. With a single casual strike, the massive serpents are shredded into pieces, leaving the sect master completely dumbfounded. Yue Yao raises her blade and declares that the malignant tumor known as the Qingshan sect ends today. The old man can only scream in terror as her overwhelming aura pins him down like a helpless insect. Yue Yao decides the Qingshan sect is trash tier and unleashes a strike to end their pathetic existence. The sect master can't even react before he's turned into a bloody mess by her overwhelming spiritual pressure. Our boy is completely dumbfounded, realizing just how massive the gap is between a true master and an ant. While the boss falls, Bai Zhe and Luo Yan handle the cleanup by turning the remaining disciples into toasted snacks. Zhang Yi's system pings with a massive windfall, rewarding him with new spells for finally cleaning up this mess. Yue Yao explains that only by unifying the continent can they stop these bottom-feeder sects from rising again. Suddenly, Qinglian interrupts, calling out the master's noble plan as nothing more than a blatant play for total dominance. The atmosphere gets heavy, as Yue Yao admits she's perfectly fine with her sect being the one and only ruler. Qinglian offers a spicy deal, suggesting the master gets the world while she gets to keep our boy instead. Yue Yao just sighs at her old rival's obsession, reminding her of their petty squabbles from hundreds of years ago. Yue Yao snaps at her rival, warning the old woman to stop interfering with her precious disciple's heart. To settle the score, the master puts our boy on the spot, demanding to know his true feelings. Suddenly, the system triggers a death trap mission, forcing him to confess or face a permanent, stony lower body. With the clock ticking down, Zhang Yi panics, knowing this confession is basically a one-way ticket to the afterlife. Pushed to the brink, he finally blurts out that he likes her, leaving both women absolutely dumbfounded. Qinglian is over the moon with joy, while Yue Yao stands there frozen, unable to believe her ears. Though the mission is cleared, our boy weeps inside, certain his master is going to end him for this. The obsessed elder is already dreaming of a happy marriage, imagining a future full of domestic bliss and children. She leans in close with a sparkle in her eyes, begging him to repeat those sweet words again, but Zhang Yi drops a bombshell, clarifying that while he likes her, his love belongs solely to his master. Yue Yao snaps at our boy, accusing him of losing his path and becoming nothing more than a playboy. She turns her fury toward the elder, demanding she stop interfering with his cultivation like a seductive witch. Heartbroken and tearful, Qinglian fires back, calling her a cold woman who doesn't understand the meaning of love. The harsh words hit home, making the sect leader wonder if she was just acting out of petty jealousy. Seeing the writing on the wall, the elder finally yields, acknowledging that Zhang Yi's heart belongs to her rival. Even as she prepares to leave, she promises to remain his loyal ally, her love remaining entirely unchanged. As she flies off, Yue Yao suspiciously asks if he is actually feeling regretful about letting her go. She doubles down on her cold logic, claiming that only absolute focus on cultivation leads to true immortality. But Zhang Yi just smirks, reminding her that she was the one confessing her love during her last tribulation. Faced with her own blatant hypocrisy, the mighty sect leader's dignity completely shatters in an instant. Our boy decides to stop the teasing and focus on cleaning up the remaining trash-tier sects nearby. He knows the real threat is the demon sect sorceress Ren Qianqiu hiding in the shadows. The Dao sect's fame reaches its peak, leading to the formation of the dominant Central Alliance. At the sect square, Zhang Yi prepares his team and the divine Bai Zhe for the coming war. Yue Yao decides to stay behind to guard the sect, wishing her disciple a victorious return. The departure is interrupted by the sudden arrival of a massive group of unexpected reinforcements. The Firefox ancestor appears with her entire clan, eager to support Zhang Yi's campaign. Yue Yao is instantly dumbfounded by his popularity, her jealousy flaring up at the sight of more women. She claims she isn't petty, but immediately starts recording his crimes in a secret notebook. Zhang Yi just laughs and sets off, promising to return once the demon sect is completely eradicated. The Central Alliance finally makes its move, with every major power converging on the dreaded Wanmo cave. Our boy Zhang Yi leads the scouting party, flying high while keeping a sharp eye on the horizon. They arrive at the jagged entrance of the cave, where the air itself feels heavy with demonic intent. Inside, the arrogant Ren Qianqiu lounges on her throne as Ye Haoran delivers the grim news. Ye Haoran is fuming, warning the sorceress that they are facing a total disaster if she keeps playing. She just laughs in his face, convinced that no alliance is strong enough to challenge her sect dominance. With a sudden burst of temper, she smashes her cup and orders him to stop rushing her plans. Ye Haoran realizes she is too self-willed to listen, making their chances of crushing Zhang Yi look slim. Even the spirit Shi Ji advises a retreat, knowing the demon sect is too chaotic to be controlled. Refusing to show any weakness, Ye Haoran doubles down on his plan to make his enemies suffer. Xieji sighs, realizing her partner's obsession might ruin everything, making her consider finally cutting ties with him. Meanwhile, our boy Zhang Yi decides to stick to the ground, knowing the demon sect's eyes own the skies. As they trek through the ruins, he notices the ancient stones feel wrong, like they're hiding something sinister. He warns the Firefox ancestor to stay sharp, sensing that something nasty is about to crawl out. Suddenly, the ground shatters as massive stone monsters erupt from the earth, catching them both completely off guard. These trash-tier rock creatures look tough, but Zhang Yi knows every hunk of stone has a breaking point. He tells his ally to stop charging blindly and focus on finding a weakness to exploit instead. The golems retaliate with a blinding burst of light, proving they're more than just mindless piles of rubble. Our boy quickly analyzes the energy, figuring he can just reflect that flashy light right back into their faces. Zhang Yi realizes they are burning daylight and decides to finally unleash his counter-strike technique to end this. He stands his ground as the beam hits, expertly reflecting the golem's own massive energy right back at it. The reflected blast connects with a heavy crunch, instantly shattering the trash-tier rock monster into a pile of rubble. The Firefox ancestor is totally starstruck by the display, but our boy just plays it cool as usual. Their victory is short-lived as the stones begin to glow with a haunting blue light and start pulling together. The duo stands dumbfounded as the golem fully reforms, proving that brute force alone won't put this thing down. Suddenly, the system chimes in with a new quest, warning Zhang Yi that he's just wasting mana on puppets. He quickly grabs his ally and leaps away, explaining that they need to find the master pulling the strings. Hidden nearby, a mysterious summoner watches in shock, wondering how our boy managed to sniff out his hidden flaw. Shisen is sweating bullets, desperately trying to convince himself that our boy is just bluffing to hide fear. Zhang Yi and the Firefox ancestor start lobbing incendiary spirit bombs to flush out whoever is hiding nearby. The explosions rattle the cowardly guard, who feels like these two are just trying to get under his skin. With only one wall left standing, our boy decides it's time to go all in with a massive final blast. Realizing he's cornered, the desperate guard finally pulls out his trump card and begins a massive summoning ritual. A colossal guardian giant emerges from the dust, proving the guard is willing to go all out to survive. The system chimes in with a quest completion, rewarding Zhang Yi for successfully baiting the hidden enemy into appearing. Shisen stands tall on his golem, swearing that nobody gets past him into the cave without a fight. Zhang Yi just smirks, calling him a loyal dog, before deciding to test his brand new skill on this giant. Zhang Yi draws his blade, unleashing a spiritual tornado that puts the enemy's trash-tier summon to shame. Shisen is completely dumbfounded, realizing he is witnessing the true, terrifying power of the supreme holy body. Even as his giant crumbles, the guard desperately claims his creation is immortal and will reform instantly. Our boy just laughs at the guy's naivety before activating a debuff skill to shut him down. The purple curse hits hard, leaving the masked guard screaming in terror as his magic completely fails him. Chen Xiaoqui jumps in to finish the job, pinning the helpless guard down with her fox energy. With a blade at his throat, the coward starts singing like a bird about the local demon sect strongholds. After getting the location of a nearby black market, Zhang Yi coldly orders his companion to end the trash. He smirks, noting that while he promised not to kill the man, he never said his friend